Hello, hello. Welcome to Simulacra Studios presents Vampire the Masquerade Burn It Down. And the second episode of our Devil's Playground arc. Uh, we have a very special guest. I'm going to go ahead and bring on all of our vampires and let them introduce themselves. Cadence, why don't you introduce yourself?
Sorry,
That's
couldn't
okay.
find my unmute button there
Oh,
for a
that's
second.
okay.
Hi, everyone. I'm McKenna. I play Cadence Hughes, Chaos Gremlin Gangrel, and Resident Masshole.
Hey guys, I'm Dylan. I play Madison. I'm the squad's brains and also administrative expert. I do all the exciting paperwork and government interactions. I'm the white guy who talks to the cops. Okay.
Yes, every group needs that. Hi, I'm Mo. I'm going to be playing Willow Walsh tonight, everyone's favorite and most sad Toreador.
Hey there, I'm James Davey. I will be playing DJ Second Sight, Alex Mars, the resident Malkavian, seer, oracle, drug user, hedonist,
Owner of the cup.
owner of the cup, and so very British.
And I am B. Dave Walters. I will be playing Salvador Garcia, who is a elder Brujah who is not too sure about what the hell is going on in Atlanta.
Absolutely, you're not.
I feel like I've heard that name somewhere before.
I feel like I know the name Salvador Garcia.
Yeah, it rings a bell,
all
sort
of
of.
you do.
It's on my character sheet, so I don't know.
Now it's on your screen.
Indeed. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Real quick, just wanted to mention that we are playing for charity tonight. All the proceeds from all the bits donated, we're gonna go to Races. Great charity helping out immigrants and refugees and people in, let's just call it what it is, concentration camps. So yeah, please be generous, and the top donor will win a solo session with me in this campaign. But with that out of the way.
Can I go ahead and sweeten the pot?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The top donor can win a solo session with me too.
Oh, fantastic! Thank you very much.
There you go.
That is great.
To make it even sweeter, top donor, I will not bother you.
That there is a jackpot.
Right. Yeah. Number 2 donor, he will grieve mercilessly.
Merciless.
So we're gonna start with Salvador. So you've been on a tour of Anarch cities, places where Anarchs hold domains, either in contention with the Camarilla or on their own. And Atlanta is next on your list. How does Salvador get into the city tonight?
I think I come in on my motorcycle.
Fantastic.
I've heard one of my old friends is here, Willow.
That is true. She is here. You did arrange for her to come here as a part of a larger operation within the movement. Yeah, you definitely, you know these people's names. You know that you sent them here, but communication between the cities being difficult now these nights, you're not exactly sure where they've landed. And you do know you have contact information for the local Baron, a Baron Tran, who, let's just say there's been some troubling rumors about, which is one of the reasons you sent in some of your best and brightest to check this city out. So,
best and brightest.
You know what? We like to give them encouraging words to make sure that they perform well.
Nice. Suppose so.
Indeed. So, how does Salvador approach the night? Where does he go first?
I don't think I want to go straight to the Baron, especially if I'm not too sure about what side she might really be on. Have we established any sort of a password or anything to give each other?
Yeah,
when I sent Willow in?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have some sort of code words, watchwords. You know, there's probably some sort of communication network in the city. Other than the Baron and his club, which is a club called Dead Channel in Chambly, you know that there's a local chapter of the Asylum in Buckhead, which is sort of a hot spot for the local Anarch community. that might be somewhere you want to go to check things out. And you know a handful of people who are in the city and ways and get in contact with them.
I think the first thing I want to do is find some of my own kind, some of the Brujah,
Okay.
to try and get the firsthand account of what's really going on out here.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely have some contacts amongst your clan. Probably the most concentrated, rough and rowdy Brujah are a gang called the E Street Boys, who are in the neighborhood of Edgewood. And you can basically get the word out through sort of the common clan channels and get to meeting with them. So you start heading that way into Edgewood. They have essentially a speakeasy in the modern nights. It's basically a bar that they know about and that only a select group of mortals are allowed into. But you, through clan channels, can definitely get the special knock to that. So you are riding through Atlanta on your motorcycle, heading to that speakeasy.
I haven't been here in a while.
Indeed.
Hasn't changed much.
We're going to cut back to the coterie. So when we last left, most of you are in the process of an emotional breakdown.
Yeah.
And Madison had just received a text through the sort of the coded back channels from someone you're fairly certain is the Archbishop, asking a very pointed question, did you know? So, we're going to come in right in that moment.
Oh, we're going to pick up right where we put it down, I see. I suppose for this one, I'm probably still like crying on the beanbag chair, right? I'm pretty sure that's where we left off.
And Alex is like cradling the Valdery cup.
Yeah. Cadence is just disappointed.
And also still beat the fuck up.
Yeah.
Still fairly, yeah. So I believe,
Covered in bullet holes.
When we last left with you, you dealt with some of your superficial damage.
Correct.
But you still have some of that ag on you. You can heal one a night if you'd like to do the 3 rouse checks.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, go ahead and do that for me, please.
Okay.
So, Madison, how are you responding to this?
Well, before responding on the phone, Madison just he looks at the phone for like a solid 5 to 10 seconds. And he's not going to say anything for several minutes.
Okay. So how did those route checks go, Cadence?
She succeeded at all but one, so I'm only a single point hungrier.
Oh, geez, that's
I know, right?
Surprising.
Surprising.
Yeah.
All right.
So that hole in your shoulder closes up most of the way. It's
most
still
of the
a pretty
way.
nasty, ragged hole there, but it's one that you can cover up a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, she's going to look at everyone having their moments. She's going to be like, I'm going to go wash up. You guys do whatever it is you need to do. Cry it out or something.
Yeah. Just cry it out. I go and I grab like more paper towels from the fucking kitchenette. just rip off a whole bunch of them and just go back. My makeup is all fucked up. Like this has been a pretty hard afternoon, I'd go out and say, with just all the bad news that we received in the span of 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, no, this face is fucked up.
Okay. Alex, how's Alex reacting to things happening?
So he's overwhelmed, but at the same time, he's really high right now, so he's not 100% sure what is happening. So he's going to try to help people, mostly kind of assist with the crying folks on the floor. He's crying a little bit himself. He's not really sure why. And he's going to eventually go over to his board and he's going to start spinning something relaxing with a heavy bass underlay. Kind of some maybe nature sounds in the very 10% on the top track, something very kind of trance-like to kind of get people into a calmer state.
Okay.
Yeah. Found some gentle soothing waves and birds chirping. I need that.
I mean, as gentle and soothing as a person who does EDM for a living can do.
Okay, yeah. My crying accelerates.
So I'm going to send back. If I had, I would have told you.
Okay.
Because Madison's fairly confident that whatever they're concerned about, if he had actually known there was going to be a negative consequence, he probably would have given them a heads up. So even if he's not sure what they're asking about, that is probably an accurate answer.
So about maybe 5 minutes go by after you send that, and you get a response that says, "Need to meet. Details tomorrow."
I send a thumbs up emoji.
Okay. So Salvador, you've made your way to the East Street Boys speakeasy in Edgewood. And you give the secret knock. You get led into sort of the underbar area where there's maybe about a half dozen kindred here. Mostly Brujah. There's one Nosferatu in the corner who's hanging out with them.
Isn't there always?
Yeah.
Standard issue.
Standard issue. Absolutely. And they, obviously you've got your way in here, so no one's giving you much guff. You get this sensation that no one really knows who you are, because no one's reacting in the way that people who know who you are generally do.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you, what's your demeanor? How do you interact with these guys?
I basically ignore them. And I just walk over and I actually don't sit in the corner. I kind of sit right in the middle of the room.
Okay. This kind of piques their attention because that's some bold moves. And one of them who was on the phone turns, and you get that spark of recognition in his eyes. And this is a guy named Trayvon, who is basically the second in command here. And he just sort of like throws his phone down and just sort of walks up to you, pretty calm, pretty cool, just like extends his hand.
I'm like, I shake it and I'm like, just be cool for now, brother.
He's like, cool. Yeah, absolutely, Comrade Garcia. It's a pleasure to have you, man. What can we do for you?
I'm gonna have some guests joining me soon. When they get here, sweat them just a little bit. I want to see what happens.
Okay, cool. I love it. Anybody in particular? Anyone I might know?
I think it'll be pretty unmistakable. Could I just have a minute? I need to.
Oh yeah, absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
Arrange my thoughts.
The place is yours. The place is absolutely yours.
I appreciate that. The moment he leaves, I activate summons.
Okay. Who are you summoning?
I'm summoning Willow, and
Hi.
I've rolled a considerable number of successes.
Fantastic.
God, I'm there. Shit.
Yeah. So yeah, Willow, in the midst of your absolute.
And I did crit, so
okay,
she's compelled.
Okay, absolutely. Willow, would you like to roll against that just to see, or?
Oh gosh. What would that roll even be?
Let me double check.
It is.
If it's resolve, baby, that shit's low as hell.
I have it. Well, I did have it. Sorry. It is her composure and resolve. Oh, nope. Sorry. That's the wrong thing. It is. Sorry. I'm reading too many powers. Composure and intelligence.
Oh, I have too many powers.
I know. My life is so difficult.
Oh.
It's the burden of being an elder.
Heavy is the crown.
Too many superpowers.
It'd be 3, but can you recognize who is summoning you?
I don't.
Yeah, you know. No, she knows. She knows it's me, and she knows where I am.
Yeah.
Oh boy, then this is probably this is actually great. So as soon as she starts to feel that mid sob, like it gets really quiet in the room. Because I imagine right now in this room there's the sound of the EDM and everything, and there's the slow under bass of her crying, and that stops just completely. And she sort of like gets up from her beanbag chair. Salvador Garcia's in town. I'm putting on my shoes. And she staggers into her room to put on like some slides and is like, we have to go.
Are you fucking with me?
And she just turns around like, today I'm going to fuck with you about this? Put on your fucking shoes, man.
Okay, I didn't take them off. I never take them off. It's a weird habit. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, she like slams on the door to the thing with Cadence. Is like, come on, get out. I'm in the car already. Come on.
What? What's going on?
Salvador fucking Garcia's in here. I'm slamming the door. I'm
Well,
starting
shit.
up my car.
Fine, I'll put on a clean t-shirt.
Hey, Alex, how fucked up are you right now?
Oh, I feel great. I did.
That wasn't the question, my friend.
Oh, I did have, let's see, half a tab of acid, 2 hits of Molly, a little bump of Coke just to keep me going, and I had a Monster Energy drink, and I think that made me feel a little sick.
I love you.
Who the fuck is Salvador Garcia?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yes.
I'm
Okay.
honking the horn.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I
Someone's
am
fucking
laying
kidding me. Thank
into
God.
it. Like, people's dogs are barking. I'm laying into that horn. So
Cadence storms out of her room and
I
through
think
the
Willow just
hallway
went into
to the
heat.
door.
We have to go right now.
We gotta go. Let's go right now.
like, I am like starting to move just a little bit.
Well, hold on. Run and grab my hoodie, throw my hood up.
Cool. Yeah. So, yeah, Willow, you know he's pretty close. Like he's a
Yeah.
couple blocks away. So yeah, everyone gets in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Cadence, you absolutely recognize where you're going, because you've been here plenty of times.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, you pull up to the East Street Boys secret clubhouse, and you know obviously Cadence knows the secret knock.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you guys get in and make your way to the underbar, where you find. Oh, sorry.
Before they come in, unseen passage. I want to watch how they. I want to watch how they handle themselves.
Okay. Yeah. So you come in, and why don't just for everyone's edifications for you, Salvador, and our new viewers, why don't everybody describe what their characters look like?
Okay. Well, Cadence is a very short, scrappy-looking girl, hair down to her shoulders, which is perpetually tangled. Hat, not unlike this one. Baggy jeans and a long-sleeve t-shirt that's just covered in dirt and tears and whatnot. And she walks like she just gives no fucks about anyone.
And she has had the shit kicked out of her pretty.
She has had the shit kicked out of her this evening, so she really does give no fucks about anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
Madison's kind of I mean, he definitely looks like a yuppie type, kind of close cropped hair. He's got like a little bit of facial hair. He's wearing a dress shirt and some like moderately nice slacks. He's actually pretty underdressed. No tie tonight either. And he has this habit of he just kind of like looks around a lot, like all the time, even when he's talking to people.
Okay.
I'm always just kind of looking around. Yeah. Willow is a tall woman with about shoulder length bleach blonde, like hair bleached so severely it's like white straw. It's all messed up. Dark eyebrows, and never not wearing a tracksuit really these days.
Alex is clean cut. He has shortly cropped, almost white gray hair. He's got deep black eyes, and he's got tattoos covering pretty much everything from the neck down to his fingertips.
Cool. Yeah, so you guys come in to the speakeasy. Alex, if you could roll for Sense the Unseen for me, please.
I absolutely can do that thing.
So that's Wits Auspex.
Yep, and that is going to be...
I need to roll for someone else.
I have no idea who you might be making a roll for, but I got 3 hits.
3 hits, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Salvador, if you could make your roll for me, please.
Alrighty. Just for the record, when I activated unseen passage, my hunger did increase to 2.
Fantastic.
Sorry. 5.
5. So, Alex, you see in the corner a very ratty, like blotchy skin looking guy who like has a recorder, like sort of like a digital recorder clutched to his chest. Like you just sort of see him through this murky shadow. But yeah, so when you come in, Trayvon and a couple of his boys are there for the rest of you. And they're sort of standing in pretty tight formation, like arms crossed. When they see Cadence and the rest of you, they kind of falter a little bit, like there's like some looks between them, but they kind of form back up and clearly get some like performative toughness going on. And they're like, "We know you're cool, but we gotta check you for this, you know, right? We gotta check all of you."
Dude,
I guess
Trayvon,
for
what's
what?
got you looking so spooked?
Cadence, not to fucking night.
Fine, whatever.
What are you checking this for?
Whatever.
Well, I have some items on me. I'll tell you that right up.
Well, we're just gonna give you the once over, all right?
Sure, whatever,
Don't give
man.
some
This is your
shit,
place.
Madison.
Dude, guys,
Oh.
chill.
Is this because Garcia's here? Are you patting us down because he's here today?
That would make sense.
Like, we're doing it because we're doing it, all right?
Oh, okay.
It's your place. Go ahead, feel me up. It's cool.
They just kind of move around you guys, give you guys some pretty rough treatment in terms of getting you caught up. Alex, real
Yeah.
quick, did you bring the cup with you, or is it back at the Haven?
Oh God.
No, I wouldn't have brought that out
What?
in the streets.
He's
It's
in
the
a
smart
different state
choice.
of mind, and he's been pretty clingy on that cup recently.
I am gonna giggle when they touch me. Like
Okay.
I'm gonna react as though they're tickling me.
Oh my God.
They basically give you the guys once over. They kind of go through you. They kind of push you around a little bit here and there. It's odd because these guys are your bros.
Yeah, no, Cadence is like, as they're, patting her down, she's like, no, seriously, guys, I get that, like, you want to, like, be thorough and everything, but seriously, what the actual fuck? We're cool.
Things can change, Cadence.
Okay, if something's changed, I'd kind of like to
Hey.
know.
Cadence, don't worry about it. When you gotta flex, you gotta flex. It's cool.
Whatever.
He's like, I'll tell you what, Madison. That thing Nikki asked you to get into, it hadn't been done.
Yeah, I mean, I've had 2 weeks.
Sure.
Takes
It's
time.
causing problems.
Well, it will eventually stop causing problems. You need to trust me. I'm an expert.
Yeah, and they kind of say, all right, well, you guys check out. The man will be here when he gets here. Try not to touch anything.
Oh my God.
Dude,
God.
like, why are you being so uncool?
Yeah, no, at this point I'm gonna start like pushing past and like, because at this point I'm like, okay, this is a flex. This is like, that's super clearly what this is. And I know the guy's here. Now that I'm in the space, can I still feel the pull to where he's at?
You feel like you're where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, it stops once I'm in the building.
Yeah,
Okay.
when you're in the room.
I'm going to go through my phone for one of his many numbers
Okay.
because I'm just like, okay, this is. Well, my feelings are just a tiny bit hurt that he didn't like tell me beforehand. Like he showed up here and didn't say anything. It's like a very clingy thing to like be upset about, but I am because I'm crazy, and so I try to call him. I'm like,
Okay.
yeah, I'm here.
You've got a couple of numbers for him.
We'll try all of them.
Salvador, would you have hung on to any of the phones that have any of her numbers?
The first number that she would have had in the 90s, I would have kept, but it's very much turned off. But when I see her getting a little bit frantic, especially if they kind of got past the gatekeepers, I just sort of say, all right, calm down, Willow. And I just reveal myself sitting at the table.
My hard ass expression that I always have all the time just fucking melts away. And she just has like a very like tender, sad sort of expression. And it's just like, Tio, it's been a long time.
Maybe too long. And I stand up and I do come and give her a hug.
Oh yeah, no, she starts crying again. Oh my god, she's a
So
mess today.
it's 20 seconds, Willow. That's all it took. Okay, great.
I know. It's just, I'm sorry. I'm not me today. It's whatever.
You might
It's been
be
a rough night.
while I'm still hugging her, I'm like, oh hey, Madison, still got your head on your shoulders. That's good.
I like it there more than I like it anywhere else. So.
And these two.
This
yeah.
James and Cadence, introduce yourselves. Salvador Garcia.
Hello, Salvador Garcia. And I definitely know who you are, and it's great to meet you. Finally, I've heard so much about you. I'm Alex, DJ Second Sight. You probably know of me. It's not a big deal. Anyway, great to meet you.
Yeah, you too, man. And Cadence.
Yeah, that'd be me. Yo.
Gotta say, I thought maybe you're gonna try and take one of those guys' heads off if they'd squared up a little too much more.
Well, I mean, dude, I thought we would chill, so I come in and they give me the fucking pat down like they don't know who I am. My feelings were a little bit hurt. Trayvon, he and I thought we were friends.
They're kind of in the background now, just kind of looking a little sheepish, but mostly maintaining the flex.
She turns. She's like, you know what? Fuck you guys too. Christ, I did not get shot tonight for this. Ugh.
It's
sorry.
Just once, but Trayvon, is there a place we can speak freely? Not.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we can make this place secure. We can drum out all the motherfuckers if you want.
He's like, there was that Nosferatu that was in here earlier. Where'd that
he's
guy?
right over there, and I point to him.
Yeah.
There's
like, hey, bro.
There's kind of a rustle, and Alex, you see him kind of go out a back door. And he's like, "We'll give you guys your space. We'll put the lock down here. Place is yours." T.O.
We just got some little family business. You know how it is.
Absolutely. Anything. We're gonna be watching out. You know, who knows what the cam's gonna be up to with you in town.
Probably not a lot if they knew I was here, but good. You all, so what the fuck?
Did you come down because you heard about the Victoria Ash thing? Is that
I've heard a lot of things. You tell me. Don't worry about what I already know. You just start at the beginning. You know what? Don't start at the beginning. The beginning's too fucked up. Start at the end and work your way back through what I need to know.
Madison, this one's all you.
Yeah, tell them about the Methuselah cults. I can't even right now.
Yeah, okay. I mean, sure, that's a great opener. So there's a Methuselah cult that's taken pretty deep root in the Camarilla and the city. Has some connections, at least as far north as Chicago, based on what I've looked into. I've got some progress under my belt in figuring out exactly what the fuck they're up to. But ironically, it seems like they're not the ones behind any of the fucked up shit that has happened so far. They're just, I'm sure, cooking up something even more fucked up for later on down the road. Oh, what else?
Do you want to talk about the weird the four-way stalemate? Do you want to talk about that?
Four ways.
Which one are you talking about?
Oh, Camarilla, Anarch, Sabat, and Second Inquisition, all in, I don't know, less than a 50-mile radius. That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, that's nothing. Assuming you just assume the Second Inquisition's everywhere. That's pretty much, I would say, nothing new. I mean,
with such an active Sabat. Mm-hmm.
Wait, hang on, but the Inquisition knows names, places, locations, and are not attacking them. You have a truce with them, or you have a stalemate with them.
Oh no,
we're pretty sure they don't have any hard info.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say that. I would not say that.
They've been making moves in places that are kind of concerning, but
they were doing active surveillance on the Toreador Primogens, maybe Haven.
They're sniffing up the right trees.
Yeah.
Well, there was that whole Carline thing a few years back. All right, go on.
Okay. So out of play. Some other people are going to need to step in here. I had a hard day at work, and I'm having trouble remembering everything.
Oh yeah.
Madison just kind of like strokes his chin for a minute. So there's the Sabat to the south. They're really, really content, and that really upsets me.
Yeah.
They're leading a religious retreat right now where they're sort of getting everybody together and eating them, and that's usually a very bad sign. And also, my sire, who used to be barely able to speak, is now the smartest man I've ever met, and that's strange. I don't know what's causing that. It's bad though. And my sister is a member of the Black Hand, which I didn't see coming, and she said that there's something very bad is coming. You know,
the Black Hand's like the Sabat Gestapo, right?
Yeah, they're like the sort of secret police, or it's not a perfect analogy. They're
like they're Justicars.
They're the sort of bad guys inside
Archons.
the bad guys. Yeah, like Archons, basically.
Okay.
Just a bunch of twats, really.
Yeah, I met him before.
I know how we feel about cops, so.
And then what? There's the Southern Lord elder folks that may or may not be trying to destroy the city. I don't fucking know.
There's no telling what they're after, or how many of them are even awake. It's for your information, Mr. Garcia, it's a bunch of rather ancient kindred that predate any sect getting their feet really in this area. They have their own little compact, their own little, I guess, society, even kind of a kindred government. I can, make copies of the notes for you if you're curious in the details. But short version is they seem to be waking up, and Alex, I actually think your sire might have gotten his teeth into the Toreador.
I think something like that has happened. It would. The Sabat loves to get together as a group and diablerize elders. So, if that is indeed what has happened, that would explain a lot.
Yeah.
Is your sire? I can't even say it. Vasan Tun. What's that name?
Senna? No,
Yeah,
my sire is not Vasanta Senna. She's sort of a long time ago in my lineage. She is back there. We sort of, as a family, worshipped her together until I decided to leave the Sabat. And now she speaks to me in my dreams.
I mean, she's pulling strings for you in the real world. You know that?
Yeah.
Elaborate.
I'm going to take that as you didn't know that. Let me ask you a follow-up question. You might recall the reason you all were sent here. I mean, all that's all well and good. That's useful intel. Thank you. Give it to me. But I needed you to find out if Chi Tran was solid or not.
Oh,
that's the one name I haven't heard anybody say yet.
Well, he's 1,000% not.
Yeah. See, go ahead, Cadence.
Oh, I was gonna say he's totally like balls deep in with the cam, keeping this city safe, but really they're just splitting territory and doing nothing about it. So
I'm 85% sure he's got most of the coterie leaders in the movement in this city under his sway in some way or another, and I don't mean politically, either domination or presence or something. The amount of loyalty and the lack of dissent is absolutely fucking unprecedented, frankly.
Yeah, no, and
or blood bonding, who knows?
He had a fucking bug in our haven when we first got there.
Yep.
Bug like listening bug or bug?
Yeah, like listening bug. He had some sort of thing hardwired into like a video game system. It was weird.
Really clever.
Yeah, but it was in our ceiling. We got rid of it.
There's at least some implication too that the gang that was in our haven before that were killed in a Sabat raid, that he encouraged that to happen in some way, that he either knew that it was going to happen and did not tell them, or that he put them directly in the path of some sort of party.
I mean, Cabbage Town is pioneer territory, right? I mean,
right.
That's where you put the new guy to get eaten up by the wolves.
That's exactly where he put us. I don't think he actually expected us to survive this long.
No way.
Follow-up question. You say he had a bug in your video game system at Willow.
What's up? I took care of it. In here?
Yeah.
Do you want me to point them out?
I mean, are they recording right now? And did that seem like something you all might have wanted to volunteer earlier?
I would like, Scott, I would like to make any sort of roll to see if there is any sort of device near us.
Sure, that's going to be a technology, and let's go with Wits roll.
I'm going to make that roll too.
Sure.
If you will just excuse me one moment, I have to step away.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any sort of assistance mechanic with that.
And could I also look using
3.
investigation? I don't know anything about technology, but I do know investigation.
Yeah, you can make that roll as well.
Scott, I'm sorry, God. I got 4 hits.
4 hits, 3 hits.
Investigation plus what?
Wits.
Okay. I guess you can tell them, and I'll take my own look over here.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so Alex, you and Willow get together and sort of sweep the joint. You're pretty sure there's nothing in here. Gotcha. Salvador, you check the room as well, going on a bit more mundane. You do see that there are sort of like listening holes, like there are hollows in the wall where someone might be, but you kind of you check it out, and you don't think anyone's currently listening now. And Willow and Alex, you don't find any listening devices.
There's nothing in here. I don't know how advanced the East Street boys are in regards to that. They might just have a person hang out and listen.
I mean, I'm not too worried about one of these guys listening. I mean, to tell you the truth, I'd answer a lot of their questions. But if I knew these guys were here, they know these guys are here, you know?
The Nosferatu earlier did have a digital recorder in his hand, but he's not here now.
Of course he did. All right. Do you all recall? Because it's easy to get distracted in the midst of all the chaos. You got to understand this. If you're going to make it through these nights and accomplish anything, you got to stay focused on hitting the one thing as hard as you can. You keep track of all the other plates you got to keep spinning, but bang. Do you remember what it is we are trying to do here?
Yes.
Trying to make us an Anarch City.
It is already an Anarch City. That is an important distinction that you need to keep in your mind, Madison. This is already our city. We need to remind everyone else that it is our city.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we can't hold Atlanta, there's no way that we're going to compete for Boston or Washington or New York or fucking Vermont.
Well,
like there will never be an East Coast free state.
We've made sure the Camarilla know that we're not to be fucked with. I can say that much. Their sheriff made the mistake of crossing us, and we gave him the worst evening of the last several decades of his life. I can assure you that.
I pointed Cadence's bullet wounds. Like,
yeah. Had a run in with another Gangrel. He was kind of a douche. Didn't like me trespassing.
One of ours, one of theirs.
Yeah, one of ours. I killed his cat.
Oh.
It attacked me first.
I mean, you didn't have to kill a cat. I mean,
big old fucking bobcat came at my face. I defended myself.
Like a big cat.
Yeah, like a big cat.
That's animal cruelty. It's a crime, really.
Yeah, it does seem a bit excessive, but I wasn't there, so be it.
Yeah, we came to an understanding. Won't happen again.
Look, I sent you guys here to find out what was going on. You are in the process of finding out what is going on. I'm not here to boss you around and tell you how to do things when you all have been the ones with the boots on the ground. But understanding what it is we are trying to accomplish here, how can I be of some assistance to you? Because I'm only here like tonight, maybe another night. But what's mine is yours.
Tran, we need to know more about whatever the fuck he's got over these other gang leaders. And we don't have, even I don't have the sort of status that you do. You can probably get them to reveal something, anything that can imply what the hell he's got over them.
I mean, who are the people that seem to be falling in line? Do you think it's the strangest that they're following in line?
I can copy you my my dossier on all the various gangs and
Yeah.
whatnot, but nobody fucking speaks out against him in those meetings. You've been to a fucking Anarch meeting, right? Like,
Of course. It's a shit show. It's a mosh pit.
Yeah, this is not a mosh pit. This is like a fucking symphony pit. Everybody just listens, and maybe a token addition is made, and things get voted on. It's upsettingly civil.
It follows Robert's rule of order. It's
And
not
fuck Robert.
it's fucking Robert, you know. But it's not what I thought I was getting myself into when I joined. You know.
I mean, it's not supposed to be. I mean, I think it's a
Mhm.
common misconception that anarchs just do whatever we want. Nah, that'll just get the Inquisition like burning down your haven in the next night. But we also don't line up and kiss rings and bow down and pay tribute and all that other shit.
And
Something
Tran
that
definitely is that kind of guy. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Cadence. Sorry.
Yeah, no, something that pissed me off, that hit we took against the sheriff that we mentioned.
Mhm.
We did a pretty bang up fucking job on that. So he calls us in and says, "Oh, hey, congratulations, now back off."
Yeah.
He did do that, yeah. And the thing that we did against the sheriff, it's not like it was coming back on the Anarchs. The Camarilla had no idea what had happened, and Tran told us to back off anyway, which I found upsetting and stupid.
Yeah.
Who speaks for Brujah around here? I mean, it's not Trayvon. This is his place, but I mean,
The East Street Boys are led by a fellow named Nicky C. He's good people, but he's kind of hard to, raise on the horn, so to speak.
I mean, is he one of those people that's been bowing down?
No, Nicky C isn't. Scott, does Nicky C act weird during the meetings? Because I know when I interact with
He
him,
was lippy, yeah.
he's
Yeah,
right.
He's lippy, but in the end, he never. He always is convinced.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Nicky C is, he's a Brujah, and I mean that in every possible sense of he's a Brujah. No, it's a good thing.
That's true. I know what we are. Yeah,
but even he doesn't seem to have, I guess, the impulse or the drive to really stand up to Tran when the chips are down, when it's time to vote. He always seems to fold right at the last minute, and it's a little weird.
What about Gangrel? Who's speaking for you all?
Fuck if I know.
Yeah, there's not a lot of clan unity, honestly, in the movement right now. It's very gang oriented, which is good.
Yeah, no, I think the East Street Boys here are the biggest collection of Brujah specific.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really think of anyone big clan
There's
gathering.
What are the fucking the ones up where you live, Alex? I almost called them hot boxers. I know that's not right.
Scott, remind me. My brain doesn't work.
That's fair. Yeah, that's they call themselves the Regency. They are basically heavy Toreador scene royalty. They kind of orbit around Buckhead and the Asylum. They're led by Vicky.
Okay, so
wasn't there another one, Scott, that was like a hip hop gang?
Yeah, there's the Red Trap over on the west.
Red Trap. That's who I was thinking of. Yeah. So I mean, those guys are cool. I don't really know the Regency. Alex might be able to speak on them.
Well, so with the Regency and their willingness to bow before Tran, it's a little bit more understandable, I think, than the East Street Boys, because deep in Buckhead, where I was living before we relocated, we require a lot more sort of material support from the Barons. So for the Baron to say, you're dead in the center of Atlanta, and I'll protect you from the Camarilla, but you have to vote the way I want you to. Okay, I can sort of see that, but it doesn't make any sense that Nicky C would go along, because he's all the way down here getting fucked over anyway.
Right, and it's not that means we can pretty much rule out some sort of blood bonding nonsense, because Nicky C has talked all sorts of trash about Tran with us on multiple occasions.
I think it's something more simple than that. It seems to me that the way that people are behaving, he's keeping it simple, I think probably he's just got something material on everyone. He's, on Regency, it may really actually be as simple as he's told them, I know where all your havens are. And there's a lot of hunters in Buckhead, and it may be something simple. I know where all your havens are, and I'll protect you from the hunters.
When Nicky and I went to pay Tran a visit that night when he bitched us out for standing up against the sheriff, he said something to Nicky that seemed to be very compelling. Nikki had a great interest in the presence of some person or another. I didn't get the name, but Tran just said something, told Nikki that there was somebody in town that Nikki would have interest in, and Nikki seemed to light up at it. So maybe influence over this person.
I think that was a squeeze or something like that.
Yeah, that's my guess. And if
Wait,
it's somebody he's hot for, and the Baron's got a fucking handle on this person.
Well, hold on a second. If the Baron has direct lines on all of the gang leaders' touchstones, that could very well be an easy means by which to control them.
Nah, fucking Barons, they're the same everywhere. Nah, that's... I mean, yes, going after people's soft targets has been a tactic since the fucking Garden of Eden.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also a very easy way to get executed, is threatening a large number of kindred's personal interests. I need to talk to this Nikki guy. Can you get him here?
I mean, I'll send him a text, but
like Trayvon.
Trayvon, yeah, like if you call him back in, he says like, you know, this is Nikki's place, but he's not here tonight.
Nikki's seat doesn't answer to man or God.
I can try.
Let him know
you
that I'm
should try.
Let him know that I'm here and that I am requesting a conversation with him.
All right, I'll get on it. But yeah, he asked to. He had some business to take care of that he. I'll do what I can. All right.
I activate Daunt.
Okay. Yeah. He's like, I'm on it, sir. I am fucking on it. And he like heads out of the room.
I love when he does that.
I'm gonna reflexively activate Unswayable Mind.
I turn it off once he leaves.
I don't.
Well, in regard to things that you could give me to help my job.
Hey, get a room, Willow.
I mean, I maybe could stay over a couple extra days. I don't,
Madison just blows Willow a kiss.
All right. Fucking thanks. Fuck off.
Willow, when that subject gets brought up, it's almost a physical thing. You feel just like this phantom hand on the back of your head, like, lightly grabbing your hair.
I did miss you, but it's more like a business thing.
Sure.
Before pleasure, I understand.
That is out of character for her. That is out of character for her, Salvador. That entire sentence.
Hey, the wisdom is knowledge multiplied by experience. It's fine.
That's a good one. Madison like types on the phone a little bit.
I'm doing a small amount of surveillance and information gathering right now, and what would really help me is if I could maybe borrow a few Nosferatu that I know I can trust, or that you trust.
I've been a lot of places, and I think I can count the number of Nosferatu I know I can trust on no hands. Like they can only rely on each other.
There's nobody that you have any hard sway on?
I'm going to tell you a secret to dealing with the Nos, and then I'll see what I can do.
The fucking worst.
When you're dealing with kindred of any kind, especially Nosferatu, do not appeal to mercy, appeal to self-interest. Show them what's in it for them. As long as there's something in it for them, they'll stay on your side. Scott, do I have any contacts that I might, bushes I might be able to rattle for her sake?
Yeah, you know some people. They're not in Atlanta proper, but you have people that owe you favors, and people that you have some stuff on. You could probably get them to relocate down here for a week or two to get some business done.
I mean, pending what you need. I can't speak for them, but I can put you in touch with people that can do what you want. I don't know if they will do what you want. Also, what's with the tracksuit?
It's been a hard day.
Yeah, it's been a hard day. It's been a hard moving to Atlanta, like, period. It's been bad. Like the moment I came in that fucking box that you arranged for us to get shipped in on, and it's
Good
kind
work,
of
though.
been
It was a
it
very
did
quaint
work.
box.
Yeah. And
I
it
th-
has been shit pretty much nonstop. It's nuts here.
I
I
thought
mean,
you'd rather enjoy that first night when you slept in my bathtub.
I'm sorry if I somehow undersold the fact that a Sabbat city that had been overrun by the Inquisition and was in the midst of a centuries-old power play between
Oh.
Anarch and Camarilla for control might have had some difficulties that went along with it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you think this is bad, you should see
less-
DC.
God.
I'm good.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you sent me here instead.
I like Atlanta.
And I will say, you all are doing good work. I wasn't too sure that you were going to be able to pull it off. Especially Alex, Cadence. I had major acquaintance. I'd heard things by reputation. Even Madison. We only met briefly before you had to, get out of Chicago like most
Get
sane people
The
have.
fuck out of Chicago.
But yeah, if that'll help you with the mission, but I really need to reiterate to you all, do not be distracted. Yeah, you got to be cognizant of it. Sabbat are eating people. There's Methuselahs. There's this, there's that. I get it. It's all important, but eyes on the prize. Remember the mission.
Yeah, okay.
We never... Yes,
Sorry,
please.
didn't mean to interrupt, but so yeah, eyes on the prize, the mission, the whatnot. So here's my concern. We've got a lot of things spinning on plates. And some of those plates, we're slowly thinking they're probably a little bit larger than other plates. So yes, Tran, big old fucking problem. Other things, slightly bigger problem. Like, okay, yeah, Atlanta's an Anarch city, and we gotta remind people of that fact. Agree 100%. But hypothetically speaking, if there is no Atlanta, there's no city to be an Anarch city. So, yeah.
Is there something that is going to destroy all of Atlanta?
How much did you hear about Victoria Ash's visit?
Yeah. What was that? What trickled down to other places about that entire event? I'm curious.
Salvador, you heard through the grapevine that she had, Victoria came back to Atlanta 20 years after the big attack, sort of to reclaim the night. And what got to your ears was that she must have engaged in some grand act of Toreador charm or presence that just sort of, the end of the night got a little fuzzy for everyone. After this sort of grand gesture of leaving bloody roses on the stairs of the High Museum. No one's exactly sure what happened in the aftermath of that gesture, but everyone remembers just being enthralled by her presence and her beauty. And, it was a weird ending to a great night.
Am I aware of the nature of her marriage?
Yes, that is very public knowledge.
She pulls some weird shit in LA too, man. Like, I don't know what's up with her. I don't know if that whole Banu Hakim state marriage thing has kind of caused the cheese to slide off her cracker or what. But she left LA right after, so I don't know if she's even going to be around anymore.
I mean, she left right after what happened with us too.
Although, follow up, if she did in fact just marry the head fucking assassin of the Camarilla, I probably wouldn't poke around her too much, though.
Well,
way down on the list.
The problem here in being we were at that party she threw, and that shit at the end wasn't her. There was something in her working whatever it was on everyone else at the goddamn party, and it almost fucking killed her.
It was bad.
Is there any connection between what you observed in her and what Chi Tran is able to do?
No, I don't think it was her. It was something controlling her. She couldn't move.
It was way more overt than what I've observed with Baron Tran.
Hmm.
And
I mean, it punched right through my defenses, and I'm not exactly a slouch when it comes to that sort of thing.
So I may have seen something else kind of like that. Yeah, I was doing a show last week, I think, maybe the week before, and there was this thing in the crowd. It took control of the crowd. It took control of everyone. It was a sort of floating, glowing serpent made of music and colors.
Not the same thing, but maybe a parallel.
Yeah.
If I can't remember very well, it was very traumatic, but I feel like it was controlling all of us and her and was going to
Yes.
turn us against her.
Yes.
Not me.
Alex,
Yeah.
I don't mean to be rude. I try to never judge a person from what they can't control. But your serpent of music, was this something anyone else witnessed, or was this just a Malkavian thing you saw?
Well, I believe that I was the only one who saw it, but I know that it did actually happen.
Hey, there's things that people see around me all the time that I don't see. I believe you, buddy. I just
Well,
wanted to make sure.
Here's the thing, right? I think it may actually be more related than you think, Madison, because not only did it take control of the crowd, but at one point it also took control of me. And it spoke. I can't remember what it said. And as he begins to say these things, a third eye begins to open on his forehead.
What the fuck?
That's new.
It gave me this idea that I could heal with the powers of my music and the powers of my blood.
Alex.
And yeah.
Alex.
What?
Close your eye.
Okay, is this like a game?
Oh my fucking god, man.
What are we playing? Is it Pin the Tail on the Donkey? What is
It's
it?
you've got a fucking eye on your forehead.
I'm gonna throw a coaster at his forehead. Just zing it.
Has Salvador been alive long enough to remember the salubri?
Give me an intelligence occult roll, please.
Okay. This is one of the very few things I'm not great at.
Listen, I'm out there.
Everything's fine.
Sorry, Scott. I thought I would just go ahead and dive us right into the deep end.
Have fun. I love it.
I'm into it.
I didn't expect that to actually be a thing that would happen.
I'm actually not terrible at it. All right,
Okay.
5.
So yeah, you've heard two stories. You've heard about the Salubri. You know that they're a thing. You know they're very old, and they are either like the martyred Lamb of Cain, or soul-sucking infernalists. The cam.
Porque no dos.
Yeah, the cam pushes that soul-sucking infernalist line pretty hard.
It's definitely bullshit.
But yeah, you're pretty sure you're pretty sure it's one of those at least.
I just lean in close and I say, hey man, it's not really my style to go like throwing around weight, like, you know, forcing my will on people either physically or mentally, but I'm gonna need you to be honest with me right now.
Yeah, please don't do those things to me. I will be honest.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so there was a girl. She was being assaulted. She was, I think, beset by other vampires. She was drained quite badly. I had my security guards go and retrieve her and bring her to me just to protect her, because there's a couple of other artists in Atlanta who I believe are actually hunters themselves. At least they suspect something's wrong with me. I brought her to my room, and I went to give her some of my blood to try to save her. And the snake, the serpent, the floating colors, gave me the impression that if I would let it bite my wrist, it would heal the girl. And I'll be honest, I was tripping my balls off. So I said, sure. And then I got this sort of intense warmth throughout my entire body. And the girl was healed without me giving her any of my blood. And then now, apparently, there's this. So I'm not sure what the fuck exactly is going on, but I will tell you, fuck, that in the Sabbat we used to have these fuckers with a third eye, but it didn't heal anyone when they did it. It was worse. It was bad. It hurt people.
It's like anything. A lot of the things we can do kind of cut both ways. I mean, I don't mean to turn this into story time. Trayvon, is Nikki coming? Is he here?
Uh, yeah, Trayvon. He comes back in the room and says, I am working on it, Tio. He's on his way, but he was in fucking Chattanooga, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
That
Perhaps we can arrange a phone call. I got some secure lines that we might be able to converse on. It's just, let me know.
I will. Yeah, no,
We're burning moonlight, Trayvon.
I'll tell him to get to a spot where he can make a call.
Cool.
All
Thanks,
right.
man. Thanks. You guys, do any of you? I know your varying ages. Are you familiar at all with what Golconda is? The path of Golconda?
I mean, I've heard the word, but only in disdainful tones from my sire and his sire before him, which means I'm sure it's something really cool.
Got nothing here.
I used to know a DJ Golconda. Probably different though.
I personally think it's bullshit, but I've seen a lot of things these nights. It's basically fucking vampire zen. It's living in complete alignment with your humanity and the beast. And some of them believe you can actually reverse it. They actually believe you can go back to being human. That shit's not possible. Otherwise, it would have been done 1,000 years ago, personally. But that's what they claim. And that, I point at his open eye, is pivotal to the process, in as much as I understand it. But I'm no scholar.
Alex, are you a saint?
No, I don't.
Told me Vicodin 45
Patron
minutes ago.
saint
He's not a saint.
Of fucking... Oh my god.
But yeah, to bring this back around, the point being that there's a lot of weird supernatural shit going on in this city, and yeah, it might be an Anarch city, but we got...
So, I want to underline something. Cadence, I'm with you. We've seen some fucked up stuff. But a lot of the things we've been doing, and I've never been shy about telling you guys this, has a pragmatic effect on the real politic landscape of the area. We've undermined the Camarilla. We've got checks on the Sabbat. We've strengthened our position in the movement. So all the other shit aside, we've made a pretty good amount of progress towards some manner of adjustment to the status quo of the movement of Atlanta. So I think the question that really comes down to is, what can we do to merge those goals?
Well, I think, you're right. We have done all those things and people know it. The movement as a whole here, I think, unless I'm completely wrong, has come to widely respect us and know that we've been doing these things. We could always just call a referendum and try to vote his ass out.
We need to know what power he's got over them before we try something like that.
I think it would become very
your plan is to out Robert's rule of order, Robert?
Yeah. Well, I will say I'm very good at that, but I don't think that's all he's got in his corner.
I don't either.
What clan is Chitran?
I think is he Brujah?
That has never been revealed. Sort of the culture of Atlanta Anarch movement is it's considered kind of rude to ask clan, and to all of your knowledge, you do not know what clan he is.
Can I make a politics roll, maybe with some status?
Sure, you can give it a try.
Okay, what attribute?
Let's go with intelligence politics.
Okay, I can do that. And can I use my status since knowledge of...
Yeah, you can use your status.
Okay. All right. I have 9 successes and a bestial crit.
Jesus God.
You have a bestial crit. Okay.
Yeah, both 10s are on hunger dice, and every die except 1 is a success.
Jesus Christ.
God damn.
I know everything.
Divine inspiration.
So,
by some definition
yeah,
of
I'm going to
divine.
be honest. I don't think I want a bestial crit with Salvador around, and 9 is overkill.
Yeah, unfortunately, if they were both on the hunger dice, you can't willpower that shit.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, you have to re-roll the normal black dice.
Yeah, let the beast have its way. Come on,
No,
I want to
let's
see
fucking
it.
go. I do it every other time. I was like, I'll resist it one time, but nope. Let's fucking roll. Let's go.
Oh,
So,
let him
Madison,
by a little.
you sort of rack your brain and go into sort of, political mind palace mode, and you're sort of thinking back and thinking back, and you key in on a memory of yours. Back in you were embraced in Boston, right? That was where
Yeah.
the last one. So yeah, in
Yeah.
Boston, the night you were presented to the Prince of Boston, and you are totally back in that room, with all your sire and his sire in the room and others there, and you remember Tran being there. He was in that room with you, and you are certain he was with the other Ventrue.
Son of a bitch.
Um,
That fucking son of a bitch.
But yeah, but the beast keys in on this, and it keys in on it in a very, very atypical way because this, especially with your recent experiences, it actually gets at your heart because you remember your sire, you remember your training, you remember all the good times, and you remember what's happened to him, and you actually hit in a very hard emotional spot as the beast just sort of digs into your heartstrings.
Fucking break something, man.
So, is this a food establishment as well as a bar?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any silverware nearby?
Yeah, there's a basket of silverware.
Cool. Madison just he says what I just said, and then he just and then he just grabs the sharpest knife out of it and stabs it into the wall, which is really not that impressive because I have strength 1. So it's really just
the drywall just a little bit.
But
Dude,
then
you
he
okay?
actually,
You can't go
he
any
starts
further.
Carving a kind of diagram of what he remembers.
Mm-hmm.
So he starts he stabs one place. He's like, my sire was there, and I was here, and the prince was there, and that son of a bitch was here. He was there.
What? Are you gonna be okay?
Wait, who was there? I'm sorry.
Tran was there when I was presented to the Prince of Boston. Tran was there.
What?
He's got to be a Ventrue.
Scott, being that I am originally from Boston, can I roll something here to see if I
roll an intelligence politics?
Yeah, sure.
He was
intelligence.
Fucking Ventrue.
Politics. Oh, this is gonna be great.
Always making everything complicated.
That's 1.
Ooh.
You really weren't a part of those circles.
Yeah, no, I wasn't.
Madison,
yeah.
I know Ventrue are, tight. Is this truce a Ventrue thing? This bullshit anarch Camarilla truce, let's not, fuck each other. Is this a Ventrue thing?
I think he might be part of the cult.
I start to cry again. Oh man, this is a bad night.
Hang on. Stay with me, Willow. Stay with me.
So Trayvon sort of peeks into the room and he says, yeah, Tio Garcia, I got him on the line. We got a secure line.
Madison throws the fucking knife in the wall, by the way.
My eyes are up here, Trayvon.
Yeah. We got a secure line if you want to talk to Nikki, man.
Yeah. Let's do it. Can you bring it here? Do we need to?
Yeah, no. We got it set up, and he's sort of one of the phones on the bar starts to its line starts to flash.
As an aside, have I personally ever met Nikki?
In passing, probably, at a rant every now and then. He's from what you know of him, he's probably one of the more introverted, doesn't like to put himself out there kind of Brujah. But when you get him one-on-one, that's when the passion comes out. That's what you know.
He's also a sect war veteran, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just look at Willow and I kind of tap my ears. I'm like, can you still do that thing? Will you listen?
Sure.
All right. I go over and I pick up the phone by myself.
Okay.
But I don't put it on speaker.
Okay.
No
Yeah.
problem.
Well, you're able to basically pull a tap pretty easily since
Yeah.
you're right there. He says, "Comrade, I'm real sorry I wasn't around to see you.
I realize I dropped in unannounced.
What can I do for you, friend?"
I needed to know how things were going for us down here. I'm hearing a lot of things. A lot of weird shit, Nikki.
Tell me about it. There's some weird shit going down. But these Cabbage Town guys that got sent down, they're doing us a solid. We're working together.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, no, things are going, man. It's not great. It's not great. The Cam's being the fucking Cam, and the Inquisition's being the fucking Inquisition. And
Yeah.
last I heard, the Salvador at each other's fucking throats.
Yeah.
Which
Weird
I'm
times.
not crying about.
No, better theirs than ours. Let me ask you this, man. Seems like there is what you might call a homeostasis at play right now, which I'm not against. But I need to know that it's real and that our people are our people and that our people aren't their people.
You think I wouldn't say something if I thought something like that was true? You think I'd stand for that?
I think you'd cover your own ass. It's what everyone does. Because I got to tell you, Nikki, again, I understand I'm just passing through town and I don't know all the ins and outs and intricacies, but I got to tell you, man, I'm hearing you're kind of stepping in line, and I just want to know, are you doing what's best for the movement?
So I would like for you to roll charisma, persuasion, and you can add your 5 dots of anarch status.
Good. I am rolling all the dice.
Yeah.
It's a nice feeling.
So
true.
Madison at this point is just kind of like almost going into a fugue, and he's quietly reciting his ancestral read that he
Oh,
was
shit.
taught.
All right. Cadence is gonna look at that. She's gonna look concerned for a moment, then she's gonna pull out her phone and she's gonna start. She's gonna send off a text if that is okay.
Sure. Who are you texting?
So I believe I mentioned in her backstory that Cadence still occasionally keeps in touch with her sire to let her know she's not dead.
Mm-hmm.
She's just gonna text him. She's like, "Is fucking Tran one of your guys is?"
Okay.
10 successes with a crit. Included in that 10 is a crit.
Noted. I rolled real good.
Ooh.
Let me just do some calculations.
I'm like, I can willpower it. I need to know this.
If you want to willpower it, I would actually recommend it.
I'll willpower it. Okay. I'm like, so that's the kind of conversation we're about to have.
Mhm.
Cool.
If I could easily show you my dice, I would, because there is a
It went up to 13 successes.
13 successes. So, what happens is for about maybe 10 seconds, you have to have a conversation that, if it were in person, would lead to fisticuffs. He and you you have to basically lay down the dominance very quickly and very precisely, using only your voice, because it is clear that he has gone off the fucking handle.
Ooh.
Like something that you just said, or what you're trying to imply, has affected him in the Brujah way, but more than that. Like something has triggered in him, and he is just like, he's not himself. He's not talking like a normal Brujah. He's going back on these fucked up ad hominems, and over about 10-20 seconds, you get him in a verbal corner.
Does this feel like just the beast is taking over because it happens to us all, or does it feel like he's being affected in a different way?
You think that the beast is part of it, because you know a Brujah raging out. Like you hear it all the time. You hear it in yourself every now and then. But there are also like these odd verbal tics and like halting. Like he tries to start to say something and then it just stops. And yeah, you are not. You've heard stuff like this before on people who have had mind jobs, and
Mhm.
he gets control of himself pretty quickly after you figured this out, and says like, "Comrade, you're in my fucking house, right? And I'm not there, but we're gonna have words, all right? I gotta get back on the road."
Nikki, I need you to understand something, and I want you to tumble this around in your noodle while you're writing. Uh, I'm here to do one of two things. Actually, I'm here to do one thing: to put an end to your problems. The only question you got to ask yourself is whether I'm putting an end to your problems or I'm going to put an end to the problem that is you. I'm here to help the city, and I would like it if that also helps you, but I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Because this isn't your house. This is the movement's house. And I hang up the phone.
Okay.
Holy shit. He fucking went off.
So something's with Nikki. I mean, some of it was the beast, but it's definitely something else.
He does
Scott,
not
can
talk
I
like
recognize
that.
the symptoms of mesmerism or whatever it's called, the one that lets you conditioning as a Ventrue?
Yeah, you've seen it plenty of times.
Yeah, I've probably gone through it. Yeah.
So
No, he's in their fucking heads. He's definitely in their fucking heads.
I have to tell you all I have a concern.
All right, let's hear it.
I'm not here to just knock all the shit off the table and get back on my bike and leave while chaos reigns here. Because whatever you got going with Chi Tran, whatever he's doing to people, at least at this exact second, there is peace. Peace. And I mean, yeah, we can go over there right now. We can kick in the front door. I can do what I do. But hey, if he's holding the entire city under his sway, maybe he gets me too. I don't know. And even so, let's say it works. Let's say we go in there, I kick the shit out of him and stake him myself. Then what?
Someone else has to become the Baron.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, you guys are the boots on the ground. I'm visiting. You tell me how you want to play it. I want what's best for the movement.
Hey, Scott. If Chi Tran suffered an unexpected death by elder, who would be the most viable candidates to follow up in his footsteps?
Roll some politics. Baby.
Yeah,
that'd be intelligence politics. While you're doing that, Willow.
Yes.
One of your phones goes off.
Cool. All right.
And you get a text from Hancock. And it just says, "I need to see you tonight. Soon."
Okay.
I got 5, by the way.
I sort of close it. And she's very distracted for just a minute.
Yeah. The way the current Anarch politics are is that you're essentially in a period of special powers. Given what's going on with the Sabbat and the Inquisition, there's supposed to be a referendum in 2020 to sort of re-up democracy. So there's no established second.
How strange.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be anything put in place to manage a transition in the case of sudden death.
So the real thrust of my question there was, if that were to happen, who would I put my bets on, objectively speaking, in the movement of Atlanta to be in that spot when there is no delineated secession?
Nikki has a lot of respect. Vicky of the Regency has a lot of sway. And Quinn of the Red Trap has a lot of juice as well.
Well, that's a pretty easy pick between those three.
Madison, just roll your influence dice for me, please.
Okay, nope. That's still pretty decent. Let me just roll 5d10. That is 4 successes.
Okay. one of the basically the civil servants that you have something on or have regular detail on sends you an encrypted email that it lets you know that it's going to delete itself in 5 minutes.
Okay.
So you're able to quickly do that, and you see basically it's a picture of a piece of paper that basically has some municipal orders being handed down to the effect that the area around Cabbagetown, Edgewood, there basically is a silence order on like police scanners, EMT, that all that traffic is to be silenced for the period of the next hour.
Scott, while that's going down, I'm gonna go ahead and throw premonition.
Good times.
Yeah.
Make the route check and make the roll, please.
Shit.
Madison just basically reads the order out, and he's like,
I failed my
Order
rouse
form
check.
11030 C. Oh shit.
Care to clue us in on what that oh shit means, Madison? I don't like
Yeah.
the sound of that oh shit.
That's 5 successes, Scott.
Okay, so, yeah, you see in your mind a dead dog lying on the side of the street, covered in ticks. And then you see some shadowy, almost not a person figure, just sort of throw a cup of something onto the dog, and the dog starts burning.
Cool.
And then you see one of the ticks jump off the dog and into a spider web. And
Yeah,
then
so
you're
basically,
Yeah. Okay, so the very first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna look around at my group of people, and I'm gonna take a deep inhale. And I have lore sheet descendant of Vasanta Sana
back.
3. Do I smell blood bonds on any of them?
Is there a roll associated with that?
There is a roll, resolve plus awareness with a difficulty of 4.
Okay.
Is
Make
it
that
Wednesday already?
so while Alex is kind of giving everybody the crazy eye, Madison reads the bottom part and then interprets it out of legalese. Yeah, basically this says no fucking cops, no scanners, no EMT, no emergency services.
Oh yes,
From-
Hunter's very much on their way.
I just got a text from the sheriff.
4 successes to see if any of these guys stink of blood bond.
Willow does,
Sorry.
but that's it.
To the surprise of no one.
That's a the surprise of nobody here.
What did the sheriff say?
He wants to see me tonight.
Well, that's
Hey, Scott, does she smell like Hancock? Because I can smell who it is too.
Yeah,
she
you
does.
guys know that it's
Okay.
been
Yeah.
a thing.
And we're gonna take our break on that.
we need to
Yikes!
bounce.
Very shortly while we take care of our needs. Come right back. Oh, and it looks like our current top donor, let me scroll up here, is Keldor Mythica.
Hey!
Yeah. So
Friend of the clan.
Oh, absolutely. So if you want to top that and get a solo session, throw those bits our way.
What's it currently at?
I believe it looks like it's at 1100.
There we go.
So yeah, get that going. But we're gonna
Give
go
us
ahead.
fuck Nazis money.
Yeah, indeed, that is fuck Nazis money. All right, we'll be back soon, guys. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Vampire the Masquerade 5th Edition, Burn It Down by Simulacra Studios. So, when last we left, the Coterie and Salvador were starting to get a couple of messages that maybe something was going on, and we bring you back into the speakeasy of the East Street Boys. What's everyone doing?
Madison just stands up. we should probably fucking go.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, we should probably try to go, but I don't know that that's really going to be an option at this point.
And Madison's going to start contacting his Duskborn legions to get them out of their havens and either on the street helping or on the street bailing.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. You sent out a quick push notification to them to let them know shit's going down. And yeah, that happens as it happens. Like, do you have like, is there something you want them to do, or are you just telling them to do what they want to do?
I'm going to pretty much tell them to scatter. I think we're on the back foot here, and it's at night, so that's not when they're super, super valuable for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm just going to tell them to try to get out of the Cabbage Town area, because I have the document, which means I know the boundaries of the shutdown.
Yeah.
So pretty much going to tell them, like, get north of 54th Street or whatever the boundary is.
Mm-hmm.
Right
Okay.
now, we are not technically in Cabbage Town. We're like the
You're in
town
Edgewood
over,
right
right? Ooh, yikes.
Yeah. So we
Are
need to
there
go
any
back
other
in and
things that we
defend our
have?
territory.
No, the thing said that it was basically Cabbagetown, Reynoldstown, and Edgewood
Yeah.
was the area. So it's a pretty broad area. It's essentially your consolidated territory with the East Street Boys.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should
It's
probably
very
let them
targeted.
know that an evacuation might be in order, or at least let them know what's going on.
Trayvon comes in. He says, "Is there something going on, guys?"
Come over here.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna show him the thing.
He's like, "Well, that can't be good." And I'm not sure what it means, but that can't be fucking good.
Yeah, no, that means there's gonna be no cops, no EMTs, no fucking anything. It means that the Second Inquisition, or maybe the Camarilla, is about to come fucking knock down doors and take some people out.
Oh no, it's definitely hunters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
What?
Yeah, with the thing. I saw it.
Right. Okay. I trust you.
Thing.
So,
I need to make a call. Hold on.
so to be clear, the place with the order is where we are, right?
We are inside the boundaries of the order. Yep.
I'm like, Trayvon, this means you got a problem here in your establishment. Either you got a leak, or that Nosferatu's a rat, or both.
Oof.
It
could be bad luck.
It could be bad luck. I don't know, but you're absolutely right. It totally could. I think we've got immediate problems, but we're definitely going to be checking to make sure if we survive the night.
I would like to survive the night, please.
I stand up and say, well, I know I don't intend to die in a shithole like this tonight, so we should probably go.
Yep.
Agreed.
Trayvon, you want to get your boys moving and we can work together to get out of this?
Yeah, we can get rolling. He's like, fuck, man. Normally we'd ask Nikki for the op, but any idea what's our plan, man? I know
We
Well,
need to
they're
get on
going
the
to
street.
they're going to firebomb this entire establishment in just a few moments. So let's
Yes.
get out of it.
Go.
Yep.
Okay. So
Go somewhere and put your head down. Don't
yeah,
get caught fighting hunters in the streets.
Yeah, I'm getting on the phone as I'm going to look out the front
Mhm.
to look around my car. I'm going to try to get the sheriff on the phone.
Okay, so you're basically calling that number.
All right.
I might not get anything, but it's worth a go.
Right. And Cadence is actually going to call her brother too and touch base with
I'm
him.
going to try to get out of this building.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will activate Daunt and walk outside to my motorcycle.
Fantastic. Yeah, so you guys are basically all mobilizing. Willow, when you call that number, you get a you speak to someone. It's not Hancock. They basically say, "Oh yes, Miss Walt, we have a suite at the Marriott ready for you."
Oh, thank you. I was just calling to make sure.
Yeah, just you. No guests, ma'am.
I understand.
Oh,
Bye. Click.
Yeah, Cadence, you get in touch with Benji. Anything? What do you tell him? What's his?
I'm going to tell him that it's a rough night and that he should probably casually make his way to a bar couple blocks over, something that's out of the fire zone, as it were. But don't draw attention to yourself. Like, get in a cab and go, and text me
Yep.
when you're safe.
He says, 5x5. I'm on it, girl.
Thanks.
But before I leave, when I see the other Brujah, I'm gonna use leadership.
Mhm.
And I'm like, look, I don't know a lot of you guys. I look forward to being able to spend the next couple hundred years hanging out in shitty bars like this. So don't do anything crazy. Don't be heroes. Just do what you got to do to get out of here.
Yes, sir.
I get 6 successes with a crit.
Oh boy,
So,
yeah, no,
yeah.
they like steeliness comes over them. Like they recognize good advice when they hear it.
But if you get cornered, make sure they fucking remember you.
Shit.
And then, yep.
So yeah, so the lot of you basically head out of the speakeasy.
hmm
I'm
Okay.
getting into my car.
So you're heading to your car. Salvador, you're heading to your motorcycle.
And I'm gonna follow them because I don't know where they're gonna go.
Gotcha. Alex,
Yes,
please roll Sense the Unseen for me.
I can do that. I have them dices.
What's the nearest building owned by the state or city government?
The state or city government.
Because Madison's theory is, because that guy got me some info,
Mhm.
that means that my influence in that sector was circumvented and not just like broken down. So he should still be able to potentially get the group into somewhere safe and Masquerade safe
Mhm.
using those connections.
There is a there is essentially a city-run kind of emergency like medical services building.
Oh, perfect.
Pretty nearby, maybe about a block or two down from Y'all's Haven. It's kind of like a very, very underfunded, very small, health and human services building with like a morgue.
Perfect. I might even know some of those guys since part of my influence building is actually meeting with and helping people in the community. So
Alex,
there's an idea of where it can go.
I rolled 3 hits.
3 hits. Okay. You get kind of goosebumps on the back of your neck, but nothing stands out.
Okay.
Okay.
And Scott,
Mhm.
I would like to let you know that I rolled to pull out my claws, and I did succeed that browse check.
Okay. So something that you note, Salvador, you've seen a Gangrel pop claws pretty often. It's a pretty standard thing to see. There's nothing too unusual with Cadence's left-hand claw, but her right-hand claw is about an inch larger than you normally seen and made out of some dark metal.
We're gonna have to talk about that later.
I gathered.
Yeah. So, I need to roll a thing.
Roll
Willow's
for
definitely having an emotional battle over here while getting into this car.
Are you gonna
God
be
damn.
okay though? Do you need someone else to drive? Not me, but someone else.
No one else is driving my car.
Okay.
I'm gonna just, as we're getting out, I'm gonna look at Willow and I'm gonna say, darling, just keep in mind that I'm pretty sure your boyfriend set these people on us, so we should talk about that.
Boyfriend.
Listen,
I would have said that where Salvador couldn't hear.
Like hark.
hark.
So, Salvador, while you're kind of doing a check on your motorcycle and sort of waiting for them to get their asses in gear, you feel something fairly hard hit your back shoulder, and you've been shot, a couple times in your existence, but you're pretty tough, so you take a superficial level of damage, but you did just get shot. No one heard the bullet.
No one heard it. Oh fuck!
But it was not explosive. It was not
No,
dragon's breath. Anything.
It wasn't anything like that, but someone just shot you.
Duck behind the motorcycle and unseen passage. Just whoop, hit the deck and. I passed the rouse check.
Awesome. Yeah.
I do yell shots fired as I hit the ground. So shots fired.
Can we get this car moving?
Open the passenger. Let me think. So, can you describe the scene to me a little bit, Scott?
Okay,
where the
sure.
car is in comparison to the motorcycle?
So the car and the motorcycle are both in they're in the parking lot of the Speakeasy,
Okay.
which is sort of down an alley,
Okay.
and sort of in sort of this gravel parking lot that's sort of surrounded by decently high chain link fences.
Okay.
But there are buildings around you. The highest is about 5 stories around you. But it's a pretty contained area.
Okay. You guys are all in my car, right?
You guys
With
are
the
getting
exception.
into the car.
Who is going to sit in the back passenger side? Because where was the motorcycle in reference to me? Because whatever side is the opposite of that, I want them to keep that door open a little longer. Like the back seat.
I'll
As
say
you guys
me.
are negotiating it, one of your tires blows out.
Oh, you were trying to give me a chance to get in. Yay, thank you.
Damn.
Guess we're not fucking going anywhere now.
We need to hit
After
the
the-
alleyways. Let's fucking go.
All right.
I'm also going to duck behind the car and do unseen passage as well.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to find who's fucking shooting at us.
Okay.
And so, Willow, let me roll.
Sure.
I do not get hungrier. All right.
Is my thing.
It's a good thing I'm so strapped under this tracksuit, baby.
Right, Dave, you're gonna do something? Or
I'm just looking for the shooter. Once I kind of have a chance to hit the deck, especially when they fire a second round at the car, I'm just trying to nail down.
Yeah, I'm gonna want wits awareness rolls from the both of you.
Okay.
Alex, what are you doing?
I'm getting in the vehicle and trying to
Oh, this is not
I'm
a
trying to
good
keep my
roll at all.
hood up so that my face is more or less shrouded.
Okay.
Okay.
One success.
Yeah.
There is one other thing I'd like to activate, Scott.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Sure.
Eyes of the Beast. It doesn't require a roll.
Gotcha.
Just so I can see better in the dark.
Good times.
I'm gonna bring toughness up.
Okay. Good times. All right. So Willow, you look around. You don't see anything. Salvador, you scan the horizon. You see over on that tall building, the 5-story one across the street. You see a figure sort of crouched against a like a vent, one of those big metal vents for like a high scale industrial AC unit, and you see sort of the glint of a scope on a hunting rifle.
Oh, this guy thinks a building will help him get away from me. Joke's on you.
Do I feel like they're within range of whatever weapon I'm carrying?
Well, what would Salvador take with him for this kind of arrangement, seeing that he's on the motorcycle?
I probably would just have like a 9 and a 45, like a standard pistol and like a heavy stopping power pistol.
Yeah, that's probably not gonna hit them.
And so do they have a clear view of the entire alley? Like if we go down the alley, we're still clear, or is there like a corner we can cut and be out of the line of sight?
Yeah, I mean if you go on vehicles, you're gonna be going out straight into their line of sight. If you go on foot, you've got options to go out through other alleys and other places.
When we were in the club, did the club seem like it had a back entrance?
Not that you know of. It did. The area that you were in didn't seem to have any kind of that kind of entrance. Maybe the club proper.
So, do I see like, is there anywhere this like easily can get undercover, like where I get away from here but still be in like trees?
Yeah, I mean, there's it's not heavily wooded, but there are, it's Atlanta. There are trees around.
So I see the doors open when they shoot out the tire, and I can still speak quietly while I'm unseen passaged. And I just say to them, "The shooter's on that building over there on the roof. Get your ass to the trees." And then I start booking it towards the trees.
Okay. As he
Whoa.
starts booking it,
Unseen.
yeah, unseen,
Not what I do,
absolutely.
baby.
As he starts booking it, well, first of all, Cadence, what other than activating that power, are you doing anything specific?
She would probably, once he said, get to the tree, she would start to move there because that's a good idea. That makes sense. So she's looking for places where she can move to that do provide cover or shadows or something that she can get behind. And she's trying to map out a route in her head. Okay, what's the quickest way for me to get up there?
Gotcha. Madison, anything specific?
I'm rolling with the squad and keeping my eyes on the shooter. Also trying to do the same thing Cadence is doing,
Right.
recalling like the layout of the area and any particular buildings I might be familiar with.
So as you start rolling with the squad, as Salvador and everyone starts heading towards the trees, you notice the sound of your footsteps goes away, and the sound of the city goes away. There is just a deathly quiet over the area.
Well, it looks like I read that one wrong.
Yeah. So, let's see here. So, Alex, are you staying in the car? Or are you heading? What's your
No,
plan?
when I see them going, I'm also going to go unseen passage, and I'm going to try to flank around the other way. Basically, I want to. I can. Have they pointed out where this guy's at?
Yeah, they pointed that there's a shooter up on the roof.
Okay. You know what? Actually, the moment that I step into that, can we say that because of my time in the Sabbat, I know what this means? That everything just went dead silent.
I mean, you've been around Ban Hakim.
Well, in the Sabbat, we prefer the term Assamite.
Yeah, because it's much more racist.
Right. True. So as soon as I step into that area where I recognize that has happened, I'm going to stand as still as I as still as I absolutely can, and just watch my friends to see which one of them he's going to attack.
Okay.
If I try to say something, do I hear my own voice?
Nope.
Okay, now she looks freaked out. She's like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Madison, as you're sort of rolling up with the squad, you feel something very sharp dig into your back with sort of a definite rolling force, and all of you see the black-clad figure with a very large knife that just stabbed right into the back of Madison. Madison, you take 2 superficial damage.
All right, so I take 1 superficial damage.
I took that into account.
The -2?
Yeah.
Hey, Scott, would you consider that holding the initiative since I sort of waited to see what this guy was going to do?
Absolutely.
Cool, I'm going to dread gaze him.
Okay, noted.
all right, what's the order of operations here?
That's a
Okay.
good question.
Yeah, so, I would say probably Salvador is going to get the first go. I think he has the most celerity as everybody. And we'll start with him, and I'll go from there. Salvador, what are you doing right now?
I'm going to blink and be all over the guy.
Okay.
Tackle him.
Absolutely. Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll, sir. That's how are you attacking him? Are you just getting on him? Like, are you beating him up, or what's the plan?
For the moment, I'm just going to tackle him so that he can't hurt anybody else.
Okay,
Like I'll
all right.
decide what I'm going to do once I have my
All
hands
right,
on him.
That's going to be a strength brawl.
Yeah.
That's how I fight too.
I would like to arouse my strength.
I'd go for it.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. And that is. 8 successes with a crit.
Oh boy, yeah. you are on him, and with very powerful force, you pull him off Madison, and just basically lock him down very strongly. Alex, what are you doing?
So he's got this guy pretty under control.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to hold an unseen passage and wait to see if anybody else pops out. But I've got dread gaze like slotted. The moment somebody pops out, they're getting dread gazed.
Noted. I love it. Okay. All right. Cadence, what are you doing?
Okay. Well, seeing as Mr. Garcia's got this one out of the way, she is going to continue moving forward to try to find a way to that building so she can.
Okay, so you're basically heading across the street. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's not hard to make your way across the street, but as you do, I would like for you to please roll a Dex Athletics.
Okay.
You've been shot too many times tonight.
You know what? At this point, she's like, you know what? What's one more bullet hole? I can take it. She really probably can't, but that's besides the point. Dexterity. That is 3, my good sir.
Okay. Yeah, you. Yeah, the bullet comes in as you're sort of ducking and weaving across the street, and it nicks your shoulder. The other shoulder. You take a superficial damage.
Okay. All right. Actually, where's that sheet I was writing my health on?
Willow, what are you up to?
Oh, so I dare say that my profession entails that I sure can scale the side of a building like no one's fucking business.
I mean, so you're basically yeah, that's right. You were going across
Oh,
that
yeah.
building as well. Okay.
So I going to use fleetness to help me with that.
Okay.
And I believe that means I succeed a non-combat dex.
Okay. So yeah, you are able to. Luckily, Cadence takes the hit for you.
Thank you.
You're moving.
I think I'm
taking one for the
invisible right
team.
now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. You're invisible. That's
I'm invisible.
that's
This guy
absolutely
doesn't know
right.
what's coming.
That's absolutely right. So yeah, you basically scale up the side of the building, and you get to basically. You're basically. He's on sort of one edge of the building. You get up to the side, and you're basically a building length across from him on this roof.
I'll get to him.
By the end of the turn.
Oh yeah.
Madison, what's your plan here? So you still have a knife in your back, but you've gotten the dude ripped off of you.
Yeah, Madison is going to channel all of the rage that he has been holding on to since that bestial crit inside.
Mm-hmm.
And he's basically just going to scream very loudly a curse that nobody will ever hear. And then I'm going to use rapid reflexes to pull out my 45 and just shoot the guy in the head.
Okay. Make your roll, sir.
I'm not actually very good at this, but he's helpless. So. I actually don't know how combat works in this game.
You are going to roll Dex firearms. It would be an opposed roll if this dude had an action, which he doesn't.
Okay, gotcha.
Just make the roll.
Okay.
Oh, well, I got 3 successes.
Okay. Yeah, you he clearly has some sort of like head covering on. Like it's not so technical as a helmet, but you see the bullet hits that covering, and you see just like a bearish trickle of blood coming from under it. But it doesn't make a satisfying head explode.
It's all right. I'm mad enough to keep shooting.
Fair enough. Okay. We're going to go back up to the top of the round here with Salvador. What's Salvador's plan?
Since I got him pinned down, point blank, entrancement.
Okay.
And I got 7 successes.
Ooh, doggy.
Wow.
Let's see what he can do about that.
Number 1 shit kicker.
And
He can be on our team.
I do not want him to love me. I want him to be terrified.
Hell yeah.
The way it should be.
Can I get a hell yeah?
I gotta say, like, when you do this, you have to scream, "Do you know who I am, motherfucker?"
Oh, yeah.
It's silent, or I would have already, honestly.
Oh,
I
God.
would have
Right.
opened with, "Do you know who I am?" But instead, he's just getting the hairy eyeball.
Okay. Yeah. You basically turn him around, and just like you give him the craziest crazy eyes that you
Basically,
can.
while I've got him on the ground, I'm like,
And like he just starts to twitch. Like you see something. The fight doesn't necessarily go out of him, but like there's clearly something terrible happening in his mind. You hear him you see him sort of vocalizing something, but nothing comes out. But yeah, he's like twitching in your arms, like as you're above him.
okay.
Um,
For now, I just kind of like hold him, and I'm actually interested in watching what's because I'm trying to see if I've seen something like this before. Like, is he being controlled? Is he just fighting me? Like, I'm just watching, like, what is happening in this dude's head.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, right at the moment he's just like
Mhm.
weird things happening in his eyes. His body is just twitching in fear and rage. Maybe you're not entirely certain. But okay, so Alex, still sort of holding position.
So we're in the second round and nobody else has dropped out of.
Not just yet.
Okay. I want to continue to wait then, because I there's no way in hell they came at us with one dude.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just waiting on the opportunity.
Roll me a wits awareness, please.
Okay, I've got those.
You stop being fancy British and just go
Yeah,
right
real-
into Cockney.
So I got 5 hits on that one.
5 hits on that. So you're just sort of scanning the horizon, and you don't see movement or another person. But when you look west, you see somewhere in the not too terribly distance, you see smoke.
Yep,
There's
that would be the fire.
fire.
All right, so I'm going to just tap. I don't really know who the hell Salvador Garcia is, so I'm going to tap Madison on the shoulder and point out the smoke.
Are you visible now?
I will be visible to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, cool. Okay. Yeah. Madison looks up with fucking Ghostface Killer eyes, which is a new thing, and gives a nod and says something that doesn't come across.
Right, because I don't read lips.
Yeah. So Willow, I'm sorry, Cadence.
Yes.
Yeah, you get across the street, and you sort of duck into an alleyway where you're pretty sure you're out of the line of sight. What do you are you looking for a fire escape or something?
Yeah,
like
she's
that?
looking for a fire escape, some stairs, or a ladder or something. She can just book it up.
Yeah. All right. Give me another Dex Athletics to see how good you scale this building.
All right, awesome. I'm going to do a rouse check to bump my dex up, if that is all right.
Noted.
Surprise of absolutely no one, she fails.
Okay. Oh boy, the beast.
She's hangry.
Yeah, the beast lets you know it conveys this sort of wistful experience of, oh yes, I would love to rip into someone, but we're hurt.
Yeah, well, join the fucking club, bozo. That is one on the floor. Okay.
Floor dice don't
Yes.
exist.
They wink out of existence.
It's time to eat a clock.
It's
well,
like
rerolls
out-of-state
the same
calories.
thing.
They don't count.
That's 3 again.
3 successes. Yeah, so you find a fire escape, you jump up, you bound, and you will basically come onto the top of the floor, of the top floor, and Willow.
Hey.
Yeah, you are up on this roof. You have the ability to get to this guy.
Oh my gosh, Scott, I'm ready to John Wick this man out of a fucking window.
Yeet.
I'm ready to steal his gun and then throw his ass out a window, Scott.
First, I would like you to roll your unseen presence pool.
Okay. Of course. And that for me would be my, I
Roll
want
to
to say Dex, and it would be my Dex can obfuscate, right?
Yeah.
All right. 3. Wow.
Okay. So as you are silently moving up on this guy,
Mm-hmm.
he almost at the last moment turns and points his rifle right at you and fires.
Cool. Well, I'm also glad that my fleetness helps me dodge
It does.
bullets. Thank
Absolutely.
goodness.
So go ahead and make that roll for
Perks of celerity
Yep.
are
Celerity
endless.
is wonderful. All right, so that would be a dex and
Athletics.
athletics. All right, let me get my hunger die. And then what my fleetness lets me add my celerity to that, I believe, in regards to non-cover
Mhm.
dodging of
Let me
projectiles.
double check. Yeah, no, it'll
What does it do?
You don't
yeah,
suffer
yeah,
for cover penalties.
yeah. Once per turn, the user may also use this when defending with Dex Athletics. So you can do Dex Athletics Celerity.
All right.
With fleetness. Rapid Reflex is the one that gives you no defensive penalties.
Gotcha.
That's what I got.
I have that one as well. Is that
I
one
really love this about V5 that you've got the different things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so good.
is rapid reflexes one of those things that is just on? Is it a free no cost?
I believe
Yeah, it
is.
doesn't cost a rouse check.
All right, cool.
Yeah, fleetness
just
would
matrix
cost
him.
a rouse check.
Yeah.
Which
And so yeah, fleetness I had rolled it earlier. For this one I got 3 again.
3 successes.
Yes.
Yeah, you get nicked on the side of your stomach. You take 1 superficial damage. It's not a bad hit because you almost just got right out of the way.
All right, let me write that down.
And we go back to Madison.
All right. Salvador's obviously got this dude on lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just been indicated smoke in the direction of my house. So that's fucking ruined. And also I know that there is a Vauldery cup in that house. And we're being attacked by Kindred. So
I very much need that cup.
Yeah.
I mean, is the cup very flammable?
I don't know.
Yeah, but it's very
out of
takeable.
obsidian.
Yeah. The thing is they're probably not going to search the wreckage immediately. So
because they know we're out here. So
I don't think they do. Why would they set our house on fire while we're not in it? When they could just set the house that if they knew we were in the other one, they would have set that on fire.
Yeah.
maybe they're just covering all their bases. They don't want us to have a place to get back to.
So what's your action, Madison?
I am going to I'm gonna actually just stick to the original plan and get towards the wood line so that we can kind of regroup and then figure out what we're doing from there.
Yeah, you head to the wood line. It's pretty easy to get into sort of the low brush, kind of. It's Atlanta, so there are like mild tree lines and stuff area, but it's not a heavy. It's like definitely not anything like a forest or anything like that. You can see another building right over there, but yeah, you can get into that brush and that cover pretty easily.
And I'll, he has the gun at hand and he'll prepare to take a shot at anybody who goes after any of his allies, but otherwise he's hitting the rendezvous point.
So yeah, Salvador, this guy is he is definitely trying to break your grip. So I'm going to need a strength brawl from you.
Cool. Can I add my potence to that?
You absolutely can.
Cool. Well, let me see if this works or not, because I'm going to require a storyteller adjudication. Is my blood potency sufficient that it goes up by 1 or by 2 when I rouse
I
an attribute?
believe it goes up pretty significantly.
I are an elder.
On the sheet that I sent you, I believe it does have the actual number, but I can look.
Indeed it does. Indeed it does. Sorry. Okay, got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That was did you say brawl? You say or athletics? Brawl. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
But I are strong. With entrancement, he also has to beat a roll to act against me.
That's true.
I don't know if you already accounted for that.
I did.
Okay.
Well, he had. Yeah. I took care
No
of that.
problem. I believe it's all good. That is 7 with a crit.
Yeah, you have this guy exactly where you want him. Like, he's not making any moves that you don't want him to make.
Okay.
Fuck 'em up.
I require a storyteller adjudication here.
Certainly.
Entrancement, I add my presence to my social roles.
Mm-hmm.
Does dominate, compel count as a social role because it's based on manipulation?
I'll allow it.
Good. So when I'm going to roll a number of dice. So when I slam him to the ground, the first I just kind of tap my ear and I'm like, and I want him. First, I need to see if he drops the silence.
Sure.
Because I want to say something to him.
Sure.
Does he drop the silence? I guess that's the first question.
That's a good question. Go ahead and make me a charisma intimidation thing. Yeah.
It is, because that's not actually what I want to do. I just want him to be like.
Give me a charisma intimidation with your presence.
Got it.
On it to basically non-mystically, although you're using your presence to do it to convey that to him.
Right. That's neither here nor there. We don't have to get all caught in the details, sir. 5 successes just to get him to drop it.
Okay, yeah. You see him like drop it, and then sound comes back in this area.
I look him in the eye and I compel him. Protect us.
Yas.
Okay, let's make that roll.
Nice. Means we can kidnap this guy afterwards too.
Yeah, at least for a couple hours. Yeah.
Bonus.
Oh man.
He's gonna be meleeable for a little while now. Yes. That's a lot of dice. All right, let's see here. Also, thank you for letting me get to play an elder. I appreciate that.
No, it's
It's delightful. I'm used to being the weakest person in the room. This is a delightful change of pace.
Oh yeah.
This is a question I know I should already know the answer to, but what clan do you play on LABN?
I am a Ventrue, sir.
They're not the weakest, okay? Okay. Okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm the fucking Barons. I'm doing something right. Let me see. That is a significant number of successes. That's.
It's me, the gently disputed Baron.
And 10. You stop it. That is a 13 with a crit.
Oh fuck!
You just see sort of the will go out and just eyes glass over.
He's forgotten how to breathe.
And he just says in a pretty heavy accent, he says, "Yes, sir."
I get off him. I'm like, do Banu Hakim. Do things.
You shake him in the air like, do this thing.
Do assassination. Do it.
Do assassination.
Throw him at somebody.
Bono, you're Hakim for us this time.
He says. He points actually to one of the not the building next to where you guys were in previously, but like one down, and says it's best for us to get in there.
I'm like, let's move. Yep.
Yeah. So, Alex.
Yes.
What are you up to?
I'm doing what the guy said
Because
he's.
Okay, so you're on Salvador and the dude. Cadence. You get up on this roof. You see the dude turn around, take a shot at your girl.
That's not going to stand.
Okay.
That is not going to stand. So his back is turned to me, right? She's going to big ass claws try to get those like right between the back of his ribs.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Try to
slide. Roll.
Strength brawl. Okay. All right. That one is not as same dice pool, just reversed. 1, 2.
I believe in your ability to kick ass.
I believe in your reverse dice pool.
Okay, we are going to. No, because 3 of those are hunger. So that's 2. That's
successes?
Disappointing. Yeah,
All right.
it's real disappointing.
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
You scratch across his back, You definitely feel your claws dig into some sort of armor
Actually, no.
on the jacket that he's wearing. But yeah, that you feel it dig in. You're not sure if you hit flesh, but you did chew through some of his armor. Willow.
That's
Oh,
fine.
wait, I need to roll 2 more dice
Okay,
because
alright,
of
go
the
ahead.
claws. I forgot about that.
Yep.
Sorry, I was like, wait a second, I know these do more than just do
Oh,
damage.
and roll 3 more dice if you didn't take them, because remember those claws get a +1.
Oh, right. I forgot, these are badass ones. So
Uh-huh.
my dice pool is now significantly bigger. I know the rules, I swear.
Well, and so do I.
So that brings it up to 6.
6. Okay. Yeah, you dig into his back pretty heftily, and you feel flesh under your claws.
She's gonna scream, she's like, how do you like that, fuckface?
Oh yes.
Willow.
Excellent. As she swipes into him, and he was aimed at me.
Mhm.
As she swipes in and he's pushed off balance, I'm going in, grabbing the butt of that sniper rifle,
Mhm.
and I'm going to pull it and him out of that window and over that ledge.
Over the ledge. Okay.
Yep. If he has armor on, it's fine. Let it fight gravity.
Fair enough. Okay. We're gonna need to do a contested Dex Athletics roll.
Sure.
Hashtag Sparta kick.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining her just, stone-faced as she does this.
Just the whole time. You guys don't get
See-
to see John Wick Willow a lot. Wick Willow. I'm trying to think
I was
my-
still
Wick
imagining
Willow.
you. I was imagining you still anime crying the entire time, just blood going out horizontally.
honestly. Can I rouse the
Yes,
hunger
you
to
can.
up my strength?
Mhm.
I do get a little hungry. All right, and that would just give me one more. It does just give you one, right?
Yeah, your blood potency, it gives you 1.
Ooh, yeah. All right.
Well, goddamn it, I'm freezed again, aren't I?
5. Oh, yes.
5 successes.
Yeah.
Okay. You grab at him and start to throw, but as you do so, your opponent just seems to. He screams in a foreign language, some terrible curse, and he at the last minute grabs your wrist, and the both of you go over the ledge.
Ooh, hey guys, this is about to be tough.
Ooh, and I already used my stuff, so I can't try to catch her.
It's okay, guys.
I
you
have
can carry
not
my
looked up
body
falling
wherever.
damage in this system.
Oh
And
no!
luckily, I might fall on one of you guys, considering how this timing is working.
I think our friend has a point to make.
You tell me. Is she within range for me to blink and try and catch her?
No, she is on the other
Oh,
side
never
of
mind.
the street, and you guys
Okay.
your guys are around the back of that other building.
That would have
Okay.
been dreamy as fuck, though.
Although,
I would have tried. I just want you to know.
It's the thought that counts.
Let me give me a Dex Athletics roll. Let's see what happens. Yeah, you.
Salvador,
With or without the celerity.
With the celerity.
All right. I'm all like, hey, I have a new assassin. What?
And do roll the rouse check for blink.
Okay.
Save me from terminal velocity, please.
That's good that I passed the hunger check because I am at 3 hunger right now. So
God.
if I got to 4, this might take an abruptly unpleasant turn. All right. So did you say it was Dex Athletics? Sorry.
Yeah, Death Athletics. You can add your celerity.
The good news is I'm pretty good at that. Okay.
But this is a pretty high difficulty for this.
Here we go. We're about to find out. Yeah. I'll break your fall. It's fine. Hey, it's 92 all over again, baby. All right, let's see.
Oh,
You and I remember Budapest very differently.
As we
Things were different. There were a lot more drive-bys. There was always mariachi music playing in the background. Smell of lotes always.
because I realized that she's I did all right, but I'm actually going to spend willpower and also re-roll some. That was worth it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 successes.
8 successes.
Yep.
So yeah, you sort of a boyfriend sense or ex-boyfriend sense tingling.
We don't label it. We don't label it.
We don't know. We don't label it ever.
Uh,
Then something could go wrong.
and those watching, I do realize that my video has gone away, so I know. But
He still looks beautiful though. Like
Yeah.
you just imagine, just yeah, it's
Fantastic.
glowing. It's
Take
great.
our word for it.
Honestly, he
Mhm.
looks better now.
Anyway, so yeah, you see as you're sort of negotiating these stairs up into the second building, you see them go over the edge, and the powers of the curse just sort of take over you, and you remember those nights when it was good between the two of you, and you're able to speed across the street and snatch her right before she impacts the street with this motherfucker.
I make a point to let him splat though.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. It's a little rough though. You do, Willow, take a superficial damage,
Oh yeah.
not from the impact, but versus the quickness and sort of the whiplash
Oh, it's
of
getting
him
hit by,
grabbing you.
yeah. It's like getting hit by a car. Right.
Yeah, it's true. And I go.
Cadence is just standing, like staring over the roof, just like
before I put it down, I just say like, "Look at that! I've been back like an hour, and you're already falling for me."
Hmm.
Oh,
Oh. Oh.
All right, I rejoin the Camarilla. That's my next action in this combat. I can't be a part of this fucking sect anymore.
Valid. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't even. Yeah.
she
All right,
takes
let's go.
superficial damage from the smokiness in his eyes.
Oh, yes.
All
It's
right.
willpower damage. It's only willpower damage.
All right, so Madison, you and Alex and Salvador are negotiating this building. Salvador disappears from your side. What are you doing?
I'm gonna keep going into the building
Okay.
because Salvador commanded that guy to protect us, not
Sure,
protect
yeah.
me. So
Yeah. The guy is actually he is currently working at the lock of this building. Just sort of like it's a combination of strength and brute force that he's working at it.
is there anything I can do to help him without body powers?
Do you have any larceny?
Negative.
Yeah, you're not sure how to.
I've got investigation though. Is it a combination lock?
No, it's a mechanical lock.
Like
Roll for lock diplomacy.
hey
you
man,
know, if
I know
Cadence
you're
was there,
supposed to
she's
keep
got her
us
bolt
out.
cutters.
Yeah, I can't really help.
Can't really
Yeah.
help? All right. Are you taking care of anything else that you want to try?
I'm actually just gonna talk to the guy while he's working and be like, "Hey, so we know how to better prepare for the rest of this night. Who sent you?"
He says, I don't know. Boss knows. And he's coming, so we need to get in this building.
Okay.
Well, who's your boss?
I was gonna ask that, but I figured I wouldn't have time. But you can use your turn to ask.
He's like, yeah, absolutely you can. He gets this lock undone, and you and Alex can get in this building. It is a laundromat, so you're in kind of the back maintenance area of it. And he says, I don't have to tell you shit. I know how Ventrue do. I know how mind control works.
You don't have to tell me shit.
No,
we
I
would
don't.
never. No,
Yeah,
no.
but we'll be in danger if we don't know who your boss is.
He's a bad motherfucker.
Okay.
Right,
I can accept
I
that.
could tell that by the fact that you call him the boss. But here's the thing. I really wish that you would tell me, though, Compel.
Okay.
This guy just can't catch a break.
I passed my rouse check.
Excellent.
Man.
God damn it, that's amazing.
This guy's brain, his brain is gonna be mush by the end of the night.
Yeah, right.
He's
I
like,
mean,
I forgot
his
math.
skull
I
might
don't
be
remember it
mush
anymore.
by the end of the night. Yeah.
I mean, I have not. I'm not invested in whether or not this guy lives through the night. He's kind of a dickhead.
I must say, I'm not used to doing this without rationalize. I'm like, what's all this sass? Like, you're supposed to want to help. What's
How
this?
do you like this?
Hey Scott, I'm having a little trouble with my PDF. Do you offhand know the roll for compel?
It's manipulation and dominate.
Look at this guy.
He knows that one.
Yeah, that one I know. I don't need to check anything to tell you how that one works.
Mhm.
Yeah. I kind of said that out loud, hoping the Ventrue player would know.
Actually, sorry, it's charisma and dominate for compel. Charisma, mesmerize.
I don't have any dominate.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Okay, cool. I got 5 successes.
Ooh.
Successes. Well, he got. Would you like to succeed at cost?
What's the cost?
It's a
It
mystery.
is in fact a mystery.
Surprise.
I do want to succeed at cost because I want to know who his boss is.
Yeah. So you sort of lock into a battle. Well, okay. First, would you like to roll willpower? Let me ask that.
No, actually, I want to use level 1 of Lore Sheet Vicenta Sana to roll the 1 failure again.
Okay, you can do that.
Ooh.
Make that 6 successes.
Got him.
6 successes. Okay.
My
Right.
grandma is so cool.
That's the first
Alright.
time I've actually used that power because before tonight I didn't actually read that lore sheet that I have 4 points of. God damn it.
Do you now realize your great power?
Yeah.
I
you
now
sort of,
realize.
enter into sort of something of a battle of will, and you throw in a word, a small word that you don't really know what it means, but you heard her use it, and it just sort of adds that accent to it. And he just grits his teeth, and he says, "It's my sire."
That is not as helpful as you might think.
Again.
I already used my power to sniff blood bonds this time, so we're gonna have to get in the building at this point.
I mean, you guys are in the building right now.
Oh, okay. Well,
And he
who
and he
is your
just
bloody
says,
sire then?
he says, "My sire is Mikel Dalek, Mikel Ibakim."
I'm writing that down.
Great. I have him on speed dial. I'll give him a call and tell him to
Really
fuck
don't,
off.
Anarch scum. You guys, what we need to do is shut up because he's going to be out there real soon after he burned down your little shit show.
I really like that house, you know. I'm very cross with you.
Well, have better taste. But yeah, shut the
Fucking
fuck up, or
beanbag
he's
was
gonna
in
hear us.
Oh my god.
So, back in the alley, this guy, back across the street, this guy definitely splats on the ground, and it's not pleasant. But he does seem to be getting up. Cadence, what are you doing
Yes.
in this moment?
She's hopping down the fire escape. She's gonna go check on people. Did she get the sense that this guy who was shooting at him was human, or was he kindred?
Would you like to use Sense the Beast on him?
He's dead, isn't he?
He just lived through that fall.
He
No,
lived
that's
through the fall and
living.
He's moving.
He's moving.
that's not a
Oh,
human
okay.
thing.
Oh, okay, then fair enough.
I mean,
Yeah, 'cause
that should tell you something.
yeah,
I
fair
have a
enough.
suspicion.
I wasn't aware he survived the fall. I thought he actually bit it. Okay, so she's going to hop down, and if he's trying to crawl away, she's gonna put her claws in him again. And
Okay, so you're just hopping down and getting to him?
yeah, she's gonna pounce.
All right. Go ahead and make that attack roll.
Okay. Buckets of dice. It's the best feeling.
Can verify.
Okay.
I know that feeling too.
But when I need it at the absolute least. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7.
7. Okay. So you take a superficial damage from the fall,
Mhm.
but you dig your claws like into his midsection and pin him to the to the
Fuck
asphalt.
Like she's just like twisting it, and she's like, "You're gonna stay down whether you like it or not."
Salvador, you have Willow sort of in your arm, clutching her. What
Did-
are you
Old
doing?
fucking romance novel cover looking ass.
You know, don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
No, we
But-
all love you because you're beautiful.
Did his gun survive the fall?
Did it? Because I'm super
Um,
curious.
Yeah, it's clattered. It looks pretty beaten up. Like it just fell off a 5-story building or a 4-story
Well,
building.
Silencer
It's
on that thing.
there.
Dope. I'm gonna get that.
I pick up the gun and I hand it to her. Does it look like Cadence has killed him?
No, he's struggling, but very weakly.
Do you want to cut off his fucking head, Poppy?
I mean, we don't have to just
God
go
damn.
leave bodies strewn all over Atlanta.
The police aren't coming.
Yeah, but is there I know there's a lot of trees around, right? Do any of them seem like they have branches of significant width that I could stake this cat?
I mean,
If I just like pop one off and like bang.
yeah, I mean you can. I mean, there's like a wooden fence nearby that's actually closer.
Just put him
Yeah.
on the tree.
Like
Alright, so you basically up and over onto the wooden fence.
well, I break off a branch
Oh,
because
you
I'm
break off
actually
a
gonna take him with us. I'm
Okay,
not gonna
gotcha.
just leave him here
Okay.
because they'll just unstake him. Yeah.
Cool, fair
So
enough. All right, yeah, yeah, I'll hand wave that. That's fine. You dig into it.
and I assume he goes rigid,
yeah,
right?
He goes rigid.
And I look at Cadence, and I want you all to know I'm doing this for Jason Carl. I look at you and I say, "You're a Gangrel and I'm a Brujah. Our love can never be." And I scoop the guy up off the ground, and I'm like, "We need to go though."
Oh god damn it.
It's a Kindred the Embrace joke, kids. Google it. Yeah.
I
yes,
know.
I am familiar.
Mm.
And then the prince turns into a wolf.
Oh, I love that show so much,
Me
and
too.
Jason hates it so much,
I mean,
and
That's
that's
wrong. He's wrong about some stuff. Okay.
No, I move basically as fast as I can move without dusting the two of them. I'm all like, the Assamite's covering for us. Don't ask, but we gotta go.
Oh,
Okay,
don't worry.
so,
Wherever you
yeah,
go, I'm following without question.
So where are you going?
So I do pick up the now staked Kindred, and I head towards the building that because the Assamite did indicate
He
the
indicated-
Banu Hakim.
yeah.
Sorry,
Mhm.
the Banu Hakim indicated over there.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah, you guys can get in.
Close the door.
Close. Yeah, absolutely. And you guys are in the back of this laundromat. You got one staked Banu Hakim, another that seems to be very agitatedly getting your back.
I'm like, let me give you guys the quick rundown. This guy, and I point at the one who's helping us. I'm all like, he's motivated to stay on my good side for the next couple of hours. This guy, point at the one who's staked, is not. So
Can I off him, please?
no,
We need to know.
he might be useful information. It's not the indiscriminate killing. Hold on, you need to know things. So
they have a sire who is coming. His name is Marco
Mikhail.
Rubio.
It's like
Okay.
Mikhail Hakim.
His name is Marco Rubio, and he's going to be here very soon.
Mikhail. It's Mikhail.
does that
His
name
His
does
name
that
is
name
Mikhail
mean-
Rubio.
does that name mean anything to me?
Well,
I actually got
yeah.
4 Scott. I don't know if you saw my message.
Yeah, if you want to roll an intelligence politics.
Already did. Got 4.
I'm talking to Salvador.
Oh, gotcha.
All right. Well, actually, I'm not terrible at that. Okay. All right.
You're not terrible at anything.
I was about to say that's the thing about elders; they're not terrible at anything. It's true.
Right.
He's all like, "I've had an interesting life." 5 successes.
5 successes. So yeah, you and Madison kind of compare notes quickly when you hear that name, and yeah, he's definitely a big player in the recent merging of the Ashira and the Camarilla. He's one of the Banu Hakim who came over and sort of is playing Cam politics. So
Mhm.
you've heard that around, and he's sort of loosely attached to the Nosferatu Justicar, The Archon term hasn't been bandied about just yet, but he's been on that person's business.
That makes sense. That makes perfect fucking sense.
I look
Hancock
at
fucking tattled on us.
I look at my thrall and I'm like, hey man, what's your name?
He says,
And he should still be terrified of me, so I'm like,
Yeah, he's
what's your
like-
name?
my name is Scott's thinking of a name.
Right.
Uh,
His name is insert name
yeah,
here.
insert name here. I should know a name. My name is Piotr.
Piotr. You know who I am?
Oh yeah.
Good. Now, I know you don't want to do this, and I know I don't give a shit. So, but maybe if you do what we ask and you don't try any crazy shit, you might survive this night. Help us get out of here before your guy shows up. You have to protect us.
I do.
I'm trying not to make you raise your hand against your own kind, so maybe this is the simpler solution.
Just gonna point that out. He's right.
He's like, okay, I do what I can. He goes into his goes into one of the pockets on his jacket. He pulls out a cell phone and he says, "I'll make a call. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna send him down another street. That's what I can do."
And I look at Willow and I just sort of like tap my ear and I'm like, yeah, do it.
Okay.
Cool, because I guess that's my cue to let other people know that this person is ready to get ambushed, right?
Basically, yeah.
There's only so many he could fight at once. He's good, but I don't know how good he is, you know?
Yeah. So what exactly are you doing, Willow?
I am going to... Am I interpreting that cue right?
I mean, you interpreted how you interpreted. I'm not going to say what I meant. I only know what you took from it.
All right, that's why.
If that means gank the guy, then I don't know.
No.
I'm
It
gonna
means the
text
East Street
Trayvon
boys.
also.
It means
Yeah.
the East Street boys and some of our gang neighbors are going to know that, hey, there's someone who's not quite an Archon who's going to be walking on this
Gotcha.
street looking for us.
So yeah, you're able to convey that message. He pulls out, basically says, they're going down. They're heading towards MLK.
Never
Let
go to
your guys-
MLK, man. You're about to learn a lesson.
I'm like, guess Peachtree. When in doubt, guess Peachtree.
Oh, shit.
I lived in Atlanta a long time. You're always near fucking Peachtree. Yeah.
Wait, the Macchia Rubio's going down MLK. Well, we don't need to worry about him then.
Okay.
There's a
God
Chris Rock
damn.
bit about how there's always violence on
Yep.
Martin Luther King Boulevard.
100%. Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so yeah, that happens. You guys are able to slip out and not and basically not run into this guy. Where are you going from there, and how are you getting there?
We've got to go get that cup.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at Willow. Like, are you trying to set up a hit on this guy?
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? A bunch of young Brujah ready to prove their mettle? Come on. They're going to be all over that guy. And
We
I'll
should
be
back
all,
them up.
and I'll be all over him in a moment. I say I'm like disassembling the rifle
Okay.
because I want to get it back in working order because this is a beauty.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice gun.
I could
No,
tell a nice
these-
gun. This is a nice gun.
These fuckers need to understand they can't just tattle on their fucking mommies and daddies and get them to solve their fucking problems in our goddamn territory.
Hard fair.
Believe it or not, since they just shot the tire out of the car, I made my rouse check for fleetness, and I'm just celerity changing the tire. Like,
Oh, he's so wonderful.
like, I'm like, okay, hear me out. Again, I'm gonna listen to you guys, but they ordered a hit. You got a chance to get clear of this. You want to hit the person who's hitting you. Is that what I'm understanding?
That's what I think.
Yeah.
We've got the whole
Hell
East
yeah.
Street Boys with us. We've already taken out 2 of their team. Hey, how many people did you deploy tonight? He turns and asks the other guy.
He says I don't have to tell you that.
Yeah, if you don't tell me that, then I feel like I might be in danger from any unknown assailants. So
Cadence, threaten him.
I think your boys got that got on lockdown.
He's like, you don't have to worry about more than what you've seen.
Cool. So yeah, I think we take a 10-on-1 and show these motherfuckers what happens when you fuck with the movement.
I just hold on. I look at him. I look at Piotr, and I'm actually persuasion. Even though there's a lot of complex emotions because he's simultaneously terrified, but I'm actually trying to be nice to him right now.
Oh boy.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I look at him and I just say, Piotr, I respect you. I respect what you do. And I know you're in a shitty situation that I don't want to get any worse. So you just tell me, you've seen us, you've seen what we can do. If we go and hit that guy, is it a suicide mission? And I got 9 successes on my persuasion.
This is you, bunch of angry Brujah. You'll be hurt, but my sire, as potent as my sire is, I think that you will. You can get done what you want to do, but I'm not going to help you with that.
You know what? I don't expect you to. In fact, I expect you to wait right here in this room until I come back and get you.
Can you tell him to maybe not give him a heads up too?
He still has to protect us.
Yeah, well, the protection it gets spotty about what he's willing to actually do, especially against his own kind. But you are not going to do anything.
Like I will absolutely stay here with my brother. He looks at the state corpse.
Your brother's coming with us, unfortunately.
Stake both of them and put them in my trunk. You can talk to them later. Please.
I mean,
I have a very big trunk.
I pick up the first staked body and head towards the trunk, and I'm not aware of what might happen. Well, I mean, I'm like, hey, look, he's cooperative for the rest of the night, one way or another. we got some time with him.
Okay.
He's like gritting his teeth and following you.
Yeah, I'm like, wait here. Do not call anyone. Do not fuck with me, Piotr.
I won't move against you.
Yeah, right. Okay. All right. And then I'm like, all right. So I come out and I'm like, look, if you guys want to do this, we could do this. You could be free and clear, or we can hit this guy.
Well, once we hit this guy, we'll be free and clear, so let's fucking do it.
Yeah, no, they're just gonna send him again if he gets away tonight.
Exactly.
I do load the staked body into the trunk. I don't know what kind of car do you drive, because he is like completely stiff if he's staked. Do you have something he'll fit in?
I have a 4-door sedan, so yeah, no, he's getting in there.
We can fold him in half.
All right, yeah, okay.
Some stuff in there, but it's okay, whatever.
Yeah, we don't have to be gentle. Put that guy in the trunk.
So, yeah, and I'll fish out some other stuff from the back of that trunk to make sure that this gun is ready to go.
Actually, I go back to Piotr and I'm like, let me see your phone.
He kind of says, he shows you his phone.
I get his number and I get that guy's number, and I hand that over to Madison.
Plug it in.
He has that information. Yeah, he's like,
I hand it back to him. I'm like, hey, I might have to call the cavalry, right? Right. All right.
So if I'm understanding this correctly, you guys' plan is you're rolling up to MLK with your Brujah buddies and getting this Assamite got, right?
Yeah, so more specifically,
they identify as Banu Hakim.
Sorry, you're right.
I think you meant to say Assassamite.
We're going to go Assassamite a Banu Hakim. That's what's about to happen.
So Madison's
1996.
Me too, man. Me too.
Madison's exact tactic is that he actually wants to use himself because he doesn't want to volunteer Garcia, and he has, to his knowledge as a Ventrue, except for maybe Cadence, the most fortitude, and would be assumed to be the least threatening. So
you're volunteering to be bait?
Yes.
Oh, that's altruistic. Okay.
What do you think I'm not altruistic? We can discuss the ethics of it later. He's going to be more willing to take a chance to pick me off, because if this is Hancock's dog, then Hancock knows perfectly well which one of us holds the keys to the influence and to the domain.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, probably.
So I will get into a position that will draw him into a vulnerable position, and then you guys send him to the fucking Shadow Realm. That's an internet joke.
Shadow Realm.
Shadow Realm.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're running up on 10 p.m. So we're gonna do
Mediation.
this collaborative narrative style. So yeah. So what I'd like. So you, as you say, you and Cadence get into sort of the bait position.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right. So yeah, you basically guys roll up into MLK zone. Around where you think this guy's probably going to be scoping you out. You very conspicuously are under a street light.
And then we go for cover.
Mm-hmm, you go for cover as a couple of bullets ring out, and immediately, sort of around the corners in like shitty Camaros and a couple of motorcycles, or pack of Brujah come around to get behind the guy.
Brujah beat down the squad.
Indeed.
Knock knock, bitch.
So they basically like come in from behind to cut him off. Willow, how do you take part in this?
Oh, I am on a roof with this beautiful gun.
Mm-hmm.
While they are beating ass, I'm taking pot shots, baby.
Okay, so you're winging off a couple of shots in the distance. Cadence, what's your part in this little dance?
I mean, if someone comes at her, she's gonna go at him with her claws. So
you're just up in his face tangling.
oh yeah, no, that's what she does. She gets in people's faces and she
Gotcha.
fucks up their shit. There is no finesse. There is no strategy. She just does what she does.
Gotcha.
Yo,
Alex, what's your part in this ballet of death?
My part is to look like the easiest target, to try to draw him in by just looking sort of, oh no. And then every time, like, he will come at me, or if he ever tries to get away, I'm just going to keep dread gazing him back into Salvador.
Okay, fantastic.
Pinball.
Yeah, all right,
Ooh.
fantastic. And finally, Salvador, power in the corner. What's your move on this dance?
So while everybody's like swarming this guy who I know is tremendously powerful, I realize that the stakes of this are much higher than killing this one Banu Hakim, but the anarchs in this city need a victory and they need something to rally around.
Mm-hmm.
So I activate Majesty.
Oh
boy.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
And
So he's literally just pinballing between the two of us.
Basically the living embodiment of anarchy.
Mm-hmm.
And I just I stand there in front of the guy and I just stop and I say, you chose the wrong side. And I motion everybody else to take him down.
Yeah. So unless something is done to stop anyone before this goes to torpor or beyond torpor, he gets his ass beaten into ash.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to have him to put the kibosh on that level of finality?
Madison
Do you think you could even
would prefer
stop
to have
them?
that stopped. Now,
Yeah, I
they
have
may
to
or
try to
not
stop it.
wish it. They might not listen. Yeah. But yeah, Madison will basically step out once it's clearly over and be like, "Hey, I think he's had enough."
Okay. I need you to roll me a charisma persuasion.
Could I use leadership?
You can.
All right. And I am going to use my anarch status because that is super fucking obviously relevant.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is a little weird. This is a social interaction with Salvador Garcia literally present.
It's true.
So can I take the
know.
bonus for my Salvador Garcia lore sheet?
You know, I think you can.
It actually it fits my my personal convictions to not kill him. So yeah, it would.
Mhm.
Scott, while this is going on, I'm gonna throw my physical body over his to try to stop the blows from coming.
Oh shit!
You're gonna
you get
Pocahontas
some
it?
Brujah fists.
I'm going to get 6, by the way.
Successes.
So basically, Madison steps around the corner, is like, "Cut it out, guys."
So yeah, Alex throws his body on in the way. He gets some Brujah punches, some Brujah kisses.
I feel loved.
And Madison asserts, the anarch humanitas position, and this Assamite, this Banu Hakim, 1996 guys, gets just shy of the final death.
And I'm gonna basically, I picked up a piece of wood in the alleyway, and I will walk up and just kind of symbolically drop it in.
Slides right in.
Before I drop Majesty, I look around at all the Brujah. I'm like, tell Nikki what they did. Tell everyone. Atlanta's an anarch city. Go.
Yes.
The cry of victory runs out on MLK, and then everyone realizes that they're on MLK.
Shit, we gotta go.
Like, shit. Oh, we contributed.
And return to the night.
It's you live, you die a hero, or live long enough to become the villain. That's what this is. We have become the thing we feared.
Madison would like to go collect the third guy so that we can have the whole hat trick staked and stored.
Yeah, when you go back to get him, he is not there.
That's fine. We got the important one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Once more, we should have staked him. God damn it.
And now I'm going to do the most Ventrue thing I can possibly do to get revenge. I'm going to write an invoice.
God.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I'm gonna. Sorry, I don't want to be too meta. I'm gonna message you something super fast if you can see it.
Absolutely.
I do want to.
There's actually a message in Zoom itself.
Yeah, but this is just this is a private thing.
Okay. Well,
you click where it says everyone.
To me.
Yep.
Complete full with typos of me trying to write super fast.
Okay, gotcha.
That's
okay, I got the message on my thing here.
Okay.
I do want to get
I gotcha.
a scene alone with.
If you want to do that, that's in your purview, man. You can take it. You can make it happen.
I will. When I come in and I see him gone, I'm like, nah, summon.
Yeah.
We had an arrangement.
Like, it's not gonna be that easy, buddy. Like, it's not gonna be that easy.
He has had the worst day imaginable. I thought my day was bad.
No, his day might take an abruptly more negative turn, pending how lippy he gets right now.
Yeah. So the night goes on. You guys get these three Banu Hakim in your control. You do swing by your haven, and it is pretty fucking burnt down. There's no fire trucks. There's no services to put a stop to it.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get that cup tomorrow.
And I will say, Salvador, you've heard them mention this cup a couple of times. They haven't really explained it.
Okay, Scott, I'm gonna lose it. I gotta find this fucking cup.
Okay.
Just digging through ash.
Well, I assume that it's not quite ash yet.
I mean,
oh my God.
It's not ash. There is definitely
cinders left.
It looks like the building went up pretty fast.
Let's combine our Auspex powers to try to see where it is before we just dive in there.
Alex just isn't thinking. He just can't think. He just runs for where his room was approximately in his floor plan and tries to find this cup. And, Scott, you can tell me how much damage I take doing it.
I mean, you do take some, I'll say you take 2 levels of ag from just like ambient fire. And yeah, you're like, when you guys roll up on this haven, which it looks like this was like an old community center, Salvador, that they were hanging up in, like Alice just dives into like the still kind of smoldering ruin, and like comes out with this chipped obsidian cup, like in his hands.
And even though I'm smoldering and I'm wounded, I don't seem to notice it at all. I just seem super relieved that I have it.
Using my investigation, this whole building just burned to the ground within a matter of minutes, and they only called off rescue for an hour. I got 4 successes on my investigation. Do I realize what kind of weaponry would have been able to cause this much destruction this quickly?
Yeah, this was definitely some sort of chemical fire. Like thermite charges around the foundation.
Shit.
Like they pulled a pretty. If you guys had been in this, it would have been real fucking dicey.
Yeah.
I turn and I look at all of you and I say, all right, spinning plates. Things just got more complicated, and I think I got to cut this trip a little short. So
That's fine.
We deeply appreciate your assistance.
I just want to talk to you for just a moment alone.
yeah, absolutely. And I stop and I look back at Madison and Alex, and I'm like, it was the right thing sparing him for now, but that might not be a luxury you have in the very near future.
No,
We're prepared to go ahead.
I understand that completely, but I cannot allow someone who's completely defenseless to just be beaten to death like that. Mr. Hernandez, I'm sure that you understand.
I mean, again, you saw I staked that guy when I could have sent him to the final death. So,
all
and
on
I
the
like
same page.
Cadence. Yeah. And I'm like, you gotta explain those nails to me later, though. You know.
Long story short, I got into an interesting situation with a mage.
You know, I don't even want to know. Yeah.
No, you don't.
I turned and I just sort of like walk slightly away with Willow, and I'm like, yeah, baby.
I want you to know that no matter what people are going to say about what's going to happen in Atlanta or what they say I'm going to do, I want you to remember that I'm doing this for you, okay?
You've never let me down. I'm like, hey, to the revolution, right? And I give her a hug and a little kiss. And then on the motorcycle, and I'm out.
Oh, yeah.
Happy trails!
So that is where we're gonna leave it.
So hold on, I've got a soliloquy right before we cut it off.
Absolutely.
So as he's driving off into the sunset, we're all very impressed. He is
Yeah,
super
not the
impressive.
sunset.
Just sunrise.
Don't charge for that.
Good point. So as he's driving off into the continued darkness, and like we're all very impressed, I'm gonna turn to Willow and I'm gonna say, "Who the fuck was that?"
That's a good curtain drop right there.
I love it.
I've been in the movement for 7 weeks. I don't know who this fucking guy is.
Gotcha. All right, well, we're cutting it off for tonight. I'd like to thank all my players, especially Mr. B. Dave Walters, for joining us here. I would definitely like to thank my patrons, and we'll be showing their names in a bit. And yeah, does anyone have anything they'd like to plug? Mr. Walters, anything you'd like to get out first?
LA by Night, that's a thing you should watch.
Yeah.
And I run Vampire and D&D on my Patreon as well. So patreon.com/B Dave Walters.
Absolutely.
And thank you, YA, and thank you for letting me play a freaking overpowered Elder Vampire, which was really a lot.
Hey, it's good times. He had connections to some of the characters, so I figured it was about time to put them on screen. And if you do, I have played in a session of your Patreon game, Mr. Walters, and I highly recommend people throw in the cash to get in on that because it's super fun.
Thank you. Yeah, we're still some of the stuff you did is still paying big dividends, so it's nice.
Yeah.
The Bahari are in full effect now.
I love it.
Nice.
And thank you all for having me.
Absolutely. Cadence, you said looked like you had some. Or McKenna,
Yes. It's fine, whatever. I will answer to anything. So I mentioned this last game, and I will mention it again. This weekend, if you are in Toronto or can get to the Toronto area, Saturday evening there is a 5th edition vampire LARP called Nelly's by Night that I will be playing in. It's amazing. The hosts are amazing. There are 2 tickets left. Ticket sales will be open until Friday. Come. If you like, your vampires sexy and with avant-garde art, then it is the place to be. I'm going to be playing a blood doll named Sonia, and I'm really looking forward to it. So y'all should come and have some fun.
That sounds super rad. Anybody else have anything they want to get out there, James?
Yeah, so first and foremost, I just want to thank Dave so much, man. I had a fantastic time playing with you. God bless America, you were so fun. Also, I just want to throw out there, so next year, November 2020, we've got plenty of time to plan for it here in Atlanta. I will be running a session of a brand new LARP that is created by one of the big, well-known writers of the By Night Studios version of Vampire the Masquerade, Jason Andrew. He wrote the Mora system, and specifically he wrote Mystical Rome, which is an exploration of what happens if Mark Antony actually pays attention to the three soothsayers and saves Julius Caesar's life. Where does Rome go from there? I had a fantastic time this weekend playing at their event in Seattle, so much so that here in Atlanta next year, we're going to be running the game as well. I will have more information coming up, but if anybody wants to go to our Facebook site, it's all we've got right now because it's only 1 week later, but the Mystical Rome, the Feast of Atalanta. If you'll check that out, we're going to be running it here. We'd love to have you.
All right, and there will definitely
Sounds
be a
super
link
cool.
to that going on. Dylan, Mo, anything?
Nope, nothing.
our lucky
nothing new
winner?
on my end. Yes.
It looks like our lucky winner, let me scroll up, is Caldor Mythica. I will definitely be getting in contact with you so that we can run a solo session in this campaign. And you will also be having one with Mr. B. Dave Walters. So I'll
James
let
will
you
leave you
handle
alone.
that.
So
but
I can't remember what I said earlier. Don't grief this guy,
do
right?
not
No, not
Okay,
this guy.
okay, got it.
Seller was a friend, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and thank my patrons, especially Miss Mo Ferrer, Miss Eric Ramos, Mr. David Haddad, and Mr. Michael Tyson, who are my delicious $5 patrons. And I'm about to put the names of everybody else on it. Dylan, what you have to say?
Fuck Nazis.
Indeed. Fuck them Nazis. All right, we're out. Thanks, guys.